and welcome to the CNO podcast, episode 7. It's Nathan here on the mic. Owen and Kian are not here with us, but before we introduce our special guest, I just want to let you guys know about some sick rap on YouTube. Go check out the channel Defaz. My buddy Jalen is working on being a producer and would really appreciate it if you checked out his channel. One more time, that's Defaz, Deafaz. Go check him out. Okay. This episode's special guest was the head coach of the Winnipeg AAA Bantam 2 Monarchs. Not a big deal. This past season, he coached the Mons to an 18-8-4 record, good enough for second place and an eventual city finals appearance. Please welcome to the podcast, Ryan Didoshak.
Oh, thanks, Nate. I appreciate what an intro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a privilege for an old guy like me to get an intro by young, cool guys like that. So
obviously. So we just want to kick it off with a question about, as you were a kid, like what levels did you play and what area did you play in when you were younger?
So I have been a journeyman player. I would say I played every level from the lowest to the highest. I started off in the northeast of Winnipeg, so a little bit of a smaller catchment zone, if you will.
Yeah.
I went all the way from club hockey, was cut from Mighty Mites at 8, which I remember just being absolutely devastated in.
Yeah.
It rattled me to the core.
Yeah,
Some
it rattles.
tears. It does. It hurts.
Yeah.
First time ever released, and I thought I was good enough, but who knows? Rose-colored glasses at 7.
Yeah.
But so I ended up playing house league as an 8-year-old instead of Mighty Mites, so that was a 7-8 mix. Ended up having a solid year. Got a lot of loonies from my grandmother for goals that year, being the older kid going on. I played, managed to make A1 at 9 and 10. So had an interesting go. Played for a team, Gateway Flyers.
Right, Gateway.
Yeah, they don't run community club hockey in Winnipeg anymore.
Yeah.
They've consolidated into larger areas. As
Well,
players drop off, right?
Yeah, like now they have for instance, they have in Charleswood, they have Winterhawks now. It's like Winterhawks, red, blue, white kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they've kind of divided it into, 4, 5, 6 areas.
Yeah.
And they just kind of named them by color.
Well, when we played, they had 9 A1 teams moving into one grouping of AA.
Wow.
It was massive. So Gateway had a team, East St. Paul had a team, Transcona had 3 or 4 teams, and then you end up with this grouping called the Henderson 8, where a lot of our parents may have grown up, but North Kildonan, Bronx Park, Melrose Missiles, it felt like every 5 blocks you went, there was a team.
Yeah.
And they had an A1 team, and they were good.
Yeah, that's really cool how there's a lot of, good players at the young ages, and there's a lot of teams in such a small area kind of thing. That's kind of like when I grew up, it was still kind of like that. There's, Phoenix Flames had a couple teams. There'd be, Roblin Park, Westdale, River Heights, Cowarden. They just were all in this one association, but they had different team names. And it was kind of cool. You had a little bit of a pride playing for a certain organization and not just I'm Winterhawks Blue this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan of, the blue, the red. I mean, we can get into that. I've always got some ideas and thoughts on, how the community club system and that breaks down and how grassroots breaks down. But I guess to stay on point with your question, after A1, AA started at 11.
Yeah.
So for us, Pee Wee was actually 12 and 13. So when you guys play now, what changed is in 2003, Hockey Canada came in and they wanted to include the 15-year-olds with the midget age group.
Okay.
So midget hockey used to be 16, 17 only, but they added the 15-year-olds to it, and that pushed everybody back. So Bantam 1 and Bantam 2 for us used to be 14, 15.
Okay.
And Pee Wee used to be 11 and 12. And hitting was allowed at Pee Wee, so we were allowed to hit at 11.
Yeah.
Which would have been our our first year of AA there. So it was interesting. It was a different group. So I tried out for a team called the River East Marauders. I thought I had a good shot. I was cut first round. That one went deep. First round cut's always tough. That means you really haven't done much.
Yeah.
You really didn't impress there. So got let go there. And looking back on it, it's probably deservedly so. I didn't really work too hard to go into it. I just moved on with life and showed up and didn't end up making it. So I played A1 at 11 and 12.
Yeah.
While my friends were playing the top tier at AA there.
Yeah.
And then I was really, kind of feeling like hockey was just for fun at that point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because it wasn't competitive. It's just, I kept getting cut. So,
yeah.
Well, whatever. But then at 13 years old, I actually made it to the last round of the Sharks tryouts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
AAA, yeah.
First year AAA, A1 guy. I converted over to defense from forward. And I remember we had 125 guys trying out for one AAA team first year. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. We had 3-hour ice times. 9 of them. It was insane.
Wow.
I just remember taping my blisters, was bleeding everywhere on my feet.
Yeah.
Everything hurt. I was getting into some really good battles in corners with guys. No one was giving me a chance, and it really got me back into it because every round I would show back up into the room. A couple guys would look at me that were really good, and they'd give you that look like, "What the frick are you still doing here?"
Yeah. Who's this guy still here?
I can't believe you didn't get cut, right? And you have to eat a lot of crap in those rooms, right? You haven't earned your spot yet, so what are you gonna do? So I did, and it was interesting. I got down to the end of it, and I didn't realize this till I was an adult. I got to meet some of the guys that coached that team later on as an adult, and I got to ask them some questions, which not every young kid gets to. I could process it better in my 20s than I could at 13.
Yeah.
But it actually turned out that the 2 assistant coaches wanted me on a team bad. I was there.
Yeah.
They said I was the guy, but the head guy wanted me to play a year at AA.
Yeah.
So I actually went down. I played for the River East Marauders at 13. I made some good friends there. I won't really get into it, but a coach can really change the direction, and I can tell you that guy who coached there, I would have no sympathy for him in any aspect of this world. I don't think. I don't think he's a good person for kids.
Yeah.
Cut it straight.
There's been a few of those guys that just shouldn't be around kids coaching or anything like that.
No, and you know what? I'd say it point blank. I won't say his name on here, but he's actually a teacher too. I have no idea how that happens. And I've grown up. I've forgiven a lot of people. I've coached. Everything happens for a reason. But no, this guy. I don't understand what goes through it. And sometimes there's just bad people in the world. And I would say this is a bad person.
Yeah.
So I played for him. He really wasn't the best year. The next year I went out for the AAA tryouts again, and those coaches that had liked me had moved on, and a new coach came in. Quite good friends with this gentleman.
Yeah.
So first one released this year. So 14
first round,
years old.
yeah.
Not even first round, first one.
They only released you?
No, they released 8 guys, but they used to be vicious. They'd walk into a room and they'd just read off a list and call your name and boom, you're gone, right?
Yeah.
So when you're the first name on the list, I can tell you, you were really the first name on that list.
Yeah.
They're not hiding it. They'd walk in, Didoshak, out, done. And that's it. That's all you got. Pack your bags, see you later, right? So from last round at 125 kids to first one released with 40.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just like, whoa, something happened here.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back to the Marauders for a couple years, and I never was able to crack the AAA lineup at 14, 15. And then at 16, I guess I got more of a man. I got a little more confident in myself, and I decided I called a coach on the other side of the city for the Monarchs.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I don't understand. I keep getting released. I don't think I should. I think I can play here. Will you take a look? So he said, yeah. He was looking for a couple guys, so he took me and 4 other guys over there. And the cool thing was, I think for the first time in my life, I knew what pure joy was, because after the hour skate, he walked in. This has never happened to me before, and he said he made the team.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I'm always the last guy. Right, like the last guy. I have to wait and hopefully you just get that spot because you're just that mucker player, and that's all I was.
Yeah.
But to finally get that call and that pat on the shoulder just quick, like some of those top guys did, just like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable feeling.
Similar to that was when I tried out for AA Rangers at 15, I had always been like A2, A3, A1 or whatever. I honestly tried out for 15 AA as a joke. After the first tryout, the coach pulled me aside and I was like, oh great, he's going to ask me to switch a position, or he's going to tell me, why are you here? And then he's like, so you want to go check out prices for blue helmets? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, you're on the team. You've been on the team since 4x4. I was like, Sweet. It was kind of a cool feeling walking back into the room, knowing that you were a part of the team, right away.
It's such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
And I can tell you as you coach that regardless of what anybody, if you're listening to this and you're a parent or your player, and you're wondering in a 9-person club tryout if people have been promised a spot, the truth is they have.
Yeah.
Once a coach sees what he likes, he's going to tell a guy, I like it, you're good, you're safe.
Yeah.
You may not know, and if you don't know, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem if you don't know. That means you're on the bubble. It doesn't mean you're cut, it just means you're battling. And that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I was always on the bubble. So I get it, but what a cool feeling when you get that once in your life, eh? Just feel what it's like.
Well, and then even this year, my coach, Tyler Metcalf, who I always praise, great coach, great guy, especially great teacher. He's been a great mentor for me, but throughout the tryouts, he was never bullshitting me. He was like, you're going to have to fight hard to be on this team. You're on the bubble. It's, you and 4 guys for 3 spots. So 5 guys for 3 spots. Battle out and you'll get one of the 3 spots. It was never like, we think you're going to be on the team kind of thing. It was always like, you got to battle. Yeah. And then it lit a fire underneath me that I had to start playing.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to respect directness.
Yeah. And it's good to have that honesty between a coach and a player that way, in my opinion. I think it's more fair.
Well, I would say as a coach and as a player, the minute you lose your honesty, it's over. You've lost everything. Yeah. Right? Even if it's hard to hear, hard to tell the player or hear from the player, the minute you lose it, it's over. There's a way to deliver it. There's a way to be honest without being a dick. Yeah. And to get your point across in the most constructive way possible. But the minute you're not honest and you're very aloof, that's when problems occur. When you're not consistent, that honesty goes away. So yeah, it was cool. I made this. It was a great coach. I'd shout out to him for the rest of my life. His name was Rob Crowley. He had 2 boys that played really high level hockey. Just a great overall dad, great overall coach. Yeah. He wasn't the guy that walks into a room and lights up a room or gives you a couple big jokes or anything. He was just consistent. Every time this guy walked in, he'd take about 35 seconds a player to truly care about what went on in your day. He'd move forward. If you did something wrong, he wouldn't read you the riot act. He'd tell you, this is where. And he was very clear, when it came to depth chart positioning, where you were going to be and what you could do. And, he gave me my first chance to actually play at a level, and I will always, anyone that gives you a job. Yeah. There's a lot of people that make teams. They can't wait to make a team. Yeah. And then once they make a team, it's like, what have you done for me lately? Yeah. I made this team. I don't care if I sat on the bench the rest of the year. I was going to work my teeth off and I was going to work my backside off in practice and blood, sweat, and tears, and I'll take any minute he'll give me. Always. It's a great way to live. Not even in hockey, just all the way through life is just always keep trying and always have the best effort and always put your best foot forward in every situation. So it was unique, I was a rookie defenseman in midget AAA. That doesn't really happen. There's not a lot of rookies that crack that spot. It just it's like you could crack it as a winger kind of thing. It's easier to hide wingers, but as a rookie defenseman, you're getting right in there. You know what I mean? It's tough. Yeah. So I got to play there, which was excellent. And then after that, I moved on to a couple little stints in junior hockey there. I had a couple games over in Saskatchewan, a couple games over in British Columbia in the Junior A loop. But at 18 years old, something clicked in my brain, and I decided I wanted to go to school. I wasn't good enough to go beyond Junior A at that point. If I would have made Junior A, it would have been like midget AAA. I would have been kind of that last guy. Yeah. So I stepped away, went to school. Didn't want to play Junior B at the time, just wanted to focus on university. And then 2 interesting things happened to wrap up the playing career at 19. One of my dad's friends was looking for a player in Junior B here for the Stonewall Jets. Yeah. So he called me out and said, I really need a defenseman. And I had a really honest conversation with him. I said, I'm 19. Yeah. I'm out of shape. There's no question I'm out of shape. I haven't been on the ice for at least a year. I walked away from the game. I was done. I didn't even play beer league. I needed time to recoup, and I told him, I've been in the gym but lifting, so my cardio is hooped. But if you want to give me 2 months, I'll play. I'll give you my all. I'll play. I'm kind of miss it enough that I'll go back.
Yeah.
But you give me till about November, December, and I'll be one of your guys. There's no question. But I got to get back. So we did that. And then what ended up happening was we went down to this tournament in Bwatno, North Dakota.
Yeah.
A big town.
Yeah.
So their teams were Division 3. They were a university team, and they were national champions at the time.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was good. We went down to play them. They're a little older than us. It's unique playing in a situation where you're on enemy territory.
Yeah.
Because this rink was just a rinky-dink small facility that maybe held 400 people.
Yeah.
And they packed 1,500, and it was like they were on top of you.
Yeah.
You know, you'd walk into this rink, and it was like there were people standing on people, and they were throwing things at you, and they were booing you. And this was like Canada versus U.S. They were hot. Like, it was a hot crowd. It was fun.
It's fun to play.
Smiling ear to ear. It was just about to have the best time. And it was another unique dynamic because in college hockey in the States, they wear cages. There's no 5 for fighting. It's just suspension from school.
Yeah.
So it's a unique dynamic because the game was different. You know, we play in the junior B leagues a little rougher at that point. Yeah. You got guys taking shots at your teeth, and you know they're all caged up. So it was a unique atmosphere. But I took a bad hit from a small guy, maybe 150 pounds, and he ended up pushing me back, and I fell on my shoulder and snapped my collarbone. Oh. Yeah, the hit wasn't hard. I just felt terrible.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it felt like, if you've been there, it feels like a gun. Yeah. It just went off in your shoulder, everything explodes, you can't breathe, you can't cough.
I couldn't breathe. Every step that you take is just excruciating.
If no one on listening has ever if you haven't hurt your collarbone, you don't understand. You can't rest.
Yeah. You can't sleep. Yeah.
You know, all of your organs are there, and every time you breathe, it's game over. Yeah. So it's excruciating. They can't stabilize it. There's no cast. Yeah. There's nothing. You're just out of luck.
You just leave it there in a sling, and it just hangs there, and it heals.
And you pray to God that it heals properly, so you can get back in the gym and start training it, and it never goes away. No. It does never go away. You can build all the muscles you want. You'll always have pain there.
It's still stiff.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll always be. Yeah. So yeah, that ended up happening, and what ended up really ending it, I actually went to 3.5 weeks of practices and games and sat in the stands as a 19-year-old. And I'll tell you, 19-year-olds would do that. Yeah. So I'd go to practice, 30 minutes away from my house, rural Manitoba, and I'd be there in a sling and watch practice, be there with the team. Yeah. And then I showed up one day, January 4th, and one of the head coaches asked me, he goes, "What are you doing here?" "What are you talking about what I'm doing here? I'm always here. I've always been here. I've never
always
left."
been here.
He goes, "I don't understand why I cut you 4 weeks ago." So I actually showed up to this place day in and day out for 3 hours a night in a crappy barn in the middle of, Stonewall's rink is nice, but we practiced in these crappy little rinks in Stony Mountain where the jail is. Yeah. Freezing my butt off, talking to a bunch of guys I barely knew from an area I didn't understand, driving myself. Yeah. And the guy released me 4 weeks without telling me and just let me sit there. Like thinking, what, I'm just a fan of the team here? Yeah. You release me, I'll be your mascot? So I remember just being so frustrated with it. And I said, I'm only 2 weeks to come back. Like, I'm ready to go. I've already sat out the longest part of the injury. Yeah. And he goes, I replaced you. And that's, really that's what horrible. It's when it hits you that at the end of the day, when it comes to junior hockey at least, it's a business. Yeah. You're a tool. And if that tool breaks, they'll buy a new tool. And that's...
Yeah, it's not always fair.
No, you're privileged if you get a coach that doesn't view you that way. Yeah. And you should thank your lucky stars. If you listen to this and you get a sound mentor or somebody that's going to look after you and care about you as a person in any junior league, when you do, you should really, really just tell that coach, like, thank you. Yeah. Because most of the time, you're just gone. They don't care. So that's what hung it up for me from a playing career. That was it. I wasn't going back after that. Yeah. It wasn't fun anymore. It was just moving on.
It's hard to come back from something like that.
Yeah. So that was the short of it. But I tell you, if I look back on it now, being 33, I wouldn't change a thing of it because all the lessons that I learned on whether they were good or bad really taught me how I wanted to be and how I want to treat people. Not just from a coaching perspective, but just from life. You know, if you ever got a bad boss or bad coach or bad teacher, or what you perceive as one, because they all are trying.
Yeah.
Every one of them is trying. You know, you got to just understand that there may be a communication difference. You may not click. It is what it is. But you got to learn how to work with those people, because you're going to your whole life. You know, and you got to learn how to mitigate it and still go home happy. Because the whole key is for you not to be miserable. So it taught me a lot of really good things.
Yeah.
Which was impressive, but I got lucky because I had a balance. I had some one that was really bad, and some that were okay. I had one that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I had everything in between, so I got to see a good spread of how the world truly operates. So I feel I was pretty ready for it going in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the next question is the last one about you playing is, what is your funniest story from when you played? You know, maybe about, you know, something that happened on the ice or on a tournament in the dressing room, something like that. Oh,
sure. There's lots. But I mean, you can't share all of them.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about hockey, you know, everyone here I would assume has been in a locker room at some point who's listening. If you haven't, there's an entire culture to that locker room. There's an entire subculture to hockey as a whole, and I think that's what your podcast is trying to capture. Mm-hmm. And some of it just has to stay there.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Some of it definitely does.
It's funny.
There's a few things that I'd rather not share.
Yeah, it's
on here.
It's funny, but you know, some of it goes too far. But it is what it is. So a couple things that stood out to me was at 13, I was just first year at AA. I was just a huge klutz.
Yeah.
I moved 10 steps faster than my body would let me. You know, 13, pee-wee, like my brain's working and this body didn't know what it wanted to do. It was just too behind, too uncoordinated. So we were in a dressing room at a tournament, and there was a giant Gatorade bottle beside me, and someone said, "Pass me it." I said, "Sure." And there was probably, 30 gallons of Gatorade in this.
Yeah.
And it has handles. I could lift it. That's not a problem. But I saw the lid and thought that was the handle, so I lifted it by the lid, and this thing flooded the room.
Oh.
I tell you, I flooded 4 inches of Gatorade in a dressing room.
Oh
just
my God.
Ruined everybody's everything.
The bags, the
all of it.
Yeah.
All of it was ruined. Their shoes, their socks, their bags, their skates, and sticky blue Gatorade. Just ended it. And wow, did I get ripped. I walked out and parents, "Oh, thanks. So what do you get?" It was bad. And I'm laughing. I'm like, this is what it is. Bring it on.
Yeah. Seriously, you're going to get mad at me for spilling some Gatorade.
Oh, I remember walking by and telling a parent, I was like, "I'm a 13-year-old kid, grow up."
Yeah.
But it was, I took a lot of heat for it, but it was funny. And my poor dad went and bought every single player 2 Gatorades at $2 a pop.
Oh, right.
Oh, he dropped like $80, $90 in Gatorade just to give guys their Gatorade back. And it was just, and the year didn't stop there.
Yeah.
It just didn't end for me. Picture day.
Oh.
They set up all the benches and everyone's got their helmets off, the flow going for their pictures. And I was skating backwards, thinking I'm Bobby Orr or something, and I didn't see it coming. And every parent in the stands saw it coming, and they didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody yelled, "Look out." And I took out 9, 10 benches, the camera. I took it all out.
Yeah.
Just gone. I didn't hurt myself. And then, oh man, at least 30 parents were up and applauding.
Yeah.
Every stick on the ice is banging, and you're just like, oh boy, right?
Yeah.
Here we go again. And I can't remember all of them, but that was my year.
Yeah.
It was just a klutz moment all the time. Just clown maneuvers.
Yeah.
But it made me some good friends.
Yeah, of course, and they'll remember those things.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. They still don't let me live it down. 33, and you'll go out, and a guy will say, "Oh, hey, remember, watch out for those benches." And just,
yeah.
All right, sure. I'll never get through this. So that was pretty good. I'd say, the little older story that was probably the best was, everyone's always got a hot mom story. It happens.
Yeah,
it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
So 16 years old on the Monarchs, and this kid's mom was just a fox.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we would lay into him 24/7. He was a champ. He never.
Yeah.
He just shook it off. He didn't care.
Yeah, she was a miss.
And it was weird for me because I came from an okay area of the city, but the Monarch kids, they had money.
Yeah.
I'd never seen money like that before. I never knew houses like that existed.
Yeah.
You know, my parents were never poor, but you know, very middle class, blue collar, you know, family, and yeah, these were just mansions. I couldn't fathom it. So we all went over to the dude with the hot mom's house.
Yeah.
He let us have a party because absenteeism parents at times, right? So
yeah.
Let a bunch of 16-year-olds run through your mansion.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we did was we busted into his mom's room.
Yeah.
First thing, and we were gonna go rifling through drawers or something inappropriate.
Yeah.
And a dude jumps on a bed, and they just got this awesome king bed.
Yeah.
And he loses it. He starts yelling, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Everybody, you got to come see this!" And we just bolt to the room. He's like, "Lay on the bed," and we all lay on the bed, and there is an entire mirror on the ceiling.
Oh my.
Oh man, and it was game.
Yeah.
Game over. Like, oh, you thought you were getting it about your mom. Now she's got a mirror on her ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, she's happily married with her dad, but like, whoo.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
This is where you were born.
Yeah.
You know?
So then you start ripping into the guy about that.
Holy crap, did we rip into him 24/7. And every single one of us high-fived his dad every chance we got after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the man.
Yeah.
You're the man. You're the man. And she was just this nice mom.
Yeah.
Like, just nice, a gem. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, this is a baked cookies. Everything's okay. Like, just loving, awesome woman. And we're just, woof.
You're laying into her, son.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what they get. So yeah, those are probably some of the best ones, I'd say.
Yeah. The next question here is, every coach has like a different system or formula to selecting captains and leaders. Like, what do you look for in a leader or a captain when you're selecting your leading staff every year?
So, I think the first thing to kind of bring up is you said there's a formula.
Yeah.
And I would say that there's a lot of, there's probably not a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
I think the best coaches are the ones that don't go in with a particular formula in mind. They let it come to them.
Yeah.
The difference when you're coaching AAA hockey or any club hockey that isn't junior hockey, where you don't have a draft.
Yeah.
You can't draft players. And more importantly, if you can't trade players, like your
Right.
roster's locked, you've got to deal with what comes at you. And if you're not able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of your team and the needs and wants of your team based on the hand you're dealt, you're not a good coach, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Your tactician skills need some work. So some of the old school mentalities, and people say, you know, this is a coach that only picks big players. This is a coach that wants to, I'll use some buzzwords here. They want to play fast. He's going to pick guys to play fast. And this is a coach that wants character guys, whatever that means. And I can get into what I think it means. But these are all, you know, play fast, character, nose to the grindstone, all these cliche hockey terms that everyone thinks they know what they mean. But there's a lot of miscommunication in hockey because no one knows what they mean.
Exactly.
So when it comes to picking captains and assistants, out of the 3 years I did AAA and 10 years I coached, I had a different system every time. I really did. I had years where I had my captain picked on the second skate.
Yeah.
I knew my team needed it. You could see based on the locker room that there was one person standing out above all others. And the ironic thing is they weren't the cool kid in the room.
Right.
And I think you know this from your playing days that if you wait too long to select a captain and it's not the cool kid, the kids will have already selected it for you regardless of who gets the letter, and then we have more problems.
Exactly.
So I really wanted the kids to know, like, this is it. So we're in the middle of tryouts, and this kid has already made my team, which was a faux pas for the area.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, we weren't supposed to do that, but what are they going to do, fire me for my free job?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whatever, right? Pound salt, I'll do what I want. So I saw a kid, he was good, and I said, all right, you want to be my captain? He was, yeah, I do. I said, great, start taking the room. This is what you're going to do. And I actually lay out the expectations to my captains.
Yeah.
So for me, a captain is an extension of the coaching staff.
Right.
And there's a very big difference between a captain and an alternate. But when it comes to someone that's going to be a captain or an alternate, this is somebody that has to make a very unpopular decision most of the time. They may not be the most popular kid in the room, but they really have to focus on not being cool or worry about being cool.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
It is hard, especially when they're younger kids too.
So hockey's always had a culture that I've seen of get in line. You know, you hear it in the player interviews. No one steps out of line. No one's bigger than the team. Everything is general. And more importantly in hockey, the less you say, the cooler you are. right?
Yeah.
Go along with everything, agree with everything, always go with the majority and say very little. You'll always be cool in a hockey room. It's not as rambunctious or as chauvinistic as football or basketball.
Right.
I played both of those, and you'll really see a leader shine through in that.
Yeah.
And guys will really take pride and tell guys, like, you know what, I think I am the best.
Yeah.
You get to a football camp and just watch people battle for a position. They're battling because he's saying, I'm the best receiver.
Yeah.
I'm on your team, but I'm number one. And when we come to practice, you're in my zone.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with my zone. And then the free safety will come in, they'll have words, right? And everyone pushes each other to get better. Whereas in hockey, it's all about being together in the group.
Right.
And that can be good or bad. So, when I pick my captains, I want people that are not going to be in that group and that are going to understand what we're trying to accomplish as a team. And
Right.
can hold players accountable when you're not there. That's the whole thing, is can you hold on to 20% of the room and 20% of the culture that we want to instill
Yep.
when we leave? So I do look for similarities into myself. I look for understanding. I look for people that aren't afraid to speak up.
Yep.
People that don't have biases to friends. People that will tell their friends, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And not just do it in front of me, but, do it away.
Yeah.
I look for people that want to show up to the rink first. I look for people that want to show up last, people that don't argue. They're in. All in all, I would say the bigger of a nerd you are to the game, the more you love it, the better chance you got.
Yeah.
If a player shows up and just loves the game and just dissects the game and can't get enough of the game and always wants to talk about the game, they're probably in good contention to be one.
Yeah.
So I'll always go with a choice of, do we have a captain? And if we do, I'll pick one.
Yeah.
And then I'll always go three alternates if I can.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is two.
Yeah.
Once I usually have one or two picked, I will actually loop them in, let them know they are, and then I'll ask them what their opinion is, because they got to lead as a group.
Right.
Do they see anybody else? What do they hear in the room? Because I trust these players enough, and I get the inside scoop a little bit into, they've all known each other for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I have a few guys that I give them as a list, and I say, is this guy a goof?
Yeah.
Is he a bully? Is he a this? Is he a that? Or is this going to be a leader?
Yeah.
And then you really look for a mix. I always have one alternate captain that's your lead by example.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk, hardly ever.
Yeah.
Right? They just really never do. But they always do the right thing.
Yeah.
Always. They're never doing the wrong thing.
Typically one of your better players too.
Not always.
Not always, but on a lot of teams that I've been on, is like some of your lead by example guys are like, top half of your team kind of thing, and they'll lead by example on the ice. They'll throw a nice hit.
Yeah.
They'll make a nice pass, things like that.
Yeah.
All the time.
And you know what? Skill and leadership doesn't always go together, but at the end of the day, you are more likely to pick a skilled captain or skilled alternate because they are dedicated.
Yeah.
They're usually more skilled for a reason. Sometimes there's that guy that's more like you or me that are just willing their way onto a roster. Like let's be honest, some of the teams you and me made, I shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Whatever, I made it.
Yeah.
The guy saw my hustle or something and put me out there, and I didn't look back. I was like, I'm taking this.
Yeah, well, like this year on when I got picked, my coach was like, it was impossible to pick you because you have a good attitude. And I was like, okay, if that's my reason to make the team, I'm fine with that.
I don't care what the reason is to make the team. Just put me on the team.
Yeah, I'll sit on the bench. I don't care.
Yeah, no. My goal is to make this team. So whatever reason you manufacture in your head that you like me, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But, I always got the same thing you did. I always got a knock on my skating. I was never slow.
Yeah, exactly.
No part of me was slow. But if you look at me skate, it's ugly.
Yeah.
Like, it's effective, but it's ugly.
My stride's not the greatest. I stand up a little bit more than I should. Just things like that.
Yeah. No, I never had one of those natural strides where guys look like, their legs are 10 feet long and they're sitting in the chair, no problem. I was always look like I'm fighting it a little bit.
Yeah.
But, and that goes a long way. We can talk about that a little later, like when you're looking at tryouts, but the smoothness of your stride and how you look goes a very long way.
That's true.
There is a prototypical hockey player look, and when you're an older person, it usually filters in between 6 feet 6'2", and a nice lean 195 to 205. That's your ideal prototypical hockey body, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
how much of the world has that body, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's 6'7" and gangly. You know, you got 5'8" and thick.
Yeah.
You know, I look like a cigarette machine with a head on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I didn't look ugly. I looked ugly out there.
Yeah.
You know, but I got a couple leadership roles as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, they were cool. You know, I got a couple A's on some teams, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, captains, it's a big choice, but it's not as big of a choice once it's made. Once it's made, you just go forward.
Yeah, I was lucky enough and unlucky enough to be the captain 3 years in a row consecutively.
Well, that's hard.
But it was hard, but I was playing A3, and the problem with the way that they evaluate is they're like, skate a straight line from goal line to goal line.
Oh.
I'm a shitty skater.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what do? I put up 82 tucks in 18 games in A3. Right? I got called up to the A2 team, get 4 goals in a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, this guy doesn't look very good when he skates.
Yeah.
He's cut.
Yeah, and it happens at every single level. If you
every
look
level,
good
every
skating,
area,
you're going to get picked, and that's not just at minor. That's the junior. That's everywhere. There is what is called the eye test.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can't deny goals.
Yeah.
You know, any player that ever says I got screwed, score.
Yeah.
Just score. If you score, they cannot cut you. They will always keep you. Patrick Laine.
Yeah.
Everyone gets on him. Oh my God, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything right, but he scores.
Yeah.
You can't cut him. So
he has a horrible year and he still gets 30 goals.
It doesn't matter. That goal is worth money.
Yeah.
You know, you think it's you know, and then statisticians will point out, he's minus 28, and you know, he's not gelling with the room. Correct. But 30 goals doesn't grow on trees in the NHL.
Yeah.
50 goals doesn't grow on trees in the NHL. And in any league, if you score, you're going to have a spot.
Well,
you have to have a spot.
A great example of that too is like Tim Kerr,
right?
Power play. It's like this guy couldn't score 5-on-5. Put him on the power play. He's like, I think in his career, I think I read he had over 400 or 500 goals. 62% of them were on the power play.
Yeah, and you'll pick that guy every day.
Yeah,
you'll find a roster spot for that person because they're scoring. And you know, it's happened. I've picked players. I've seen players many times. They come out, they take a stride, and you know, you hang your head and you just put that X, immediate X.
Yeah.
You like the tryout hasn't even started. They're doing a warm-up lap, and you watch this guy skate, and that happened to me. Probably happened to you.
Yeah.
Immediate X. You're like, no, you're not making it through. But luckily, a lot of our camps that we run are all heavy games, heavy inter-squad and scrimmage, because I want to be able to give those guys a shot. So show me, and a few guys have snuck through.
Yeah, if you're a gamer, then then you're a gamer. I'm not the greatest drill guy, but you know,
you got a shot though.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah. You got a shot, and you're a big body, and you're not afraid of the front. Now all of a sudden, when you see it in a game, like Nathan starts looking like a guy I may want.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna see if I can find you a spot.
Yeah.
But the unlucky thing that you and me get is that when we're in the stands, there's a type of player, and we are it. That if we get into a good grace of a coach during a tryout, they're going to look at you every tryout of every way because they're going to find a reason. They're trying to find a reason to cut you because you don't look good. Well, but eventually you win them over. Yeah. Just with consistency, you do win them over. And unfortunately, there's guys on the opposite end of the spectrum. They show up, they take 3 strides, and they're on the team. Yeah. You don't even watch them. You should. Yeah. You don't, and you move on. That's too much talent. Yeah.
Well, I think a good example of, you know, once you get into the groove and the coach is always watching you is tryouts this year. We played 8 exhibition games. 4 of them I played forward. 4 of them I played defense. He was like, I don't know if you're a forward or a defenseman, so play both. So I played pretty good at both. I was obviously a little bit better at forward because I'm a natural forward. Yeah. But 4 games at defense, I got 5 goals. Yeah. And he was like, hey, you're scoring. Yeah. Right? And then, of course, on forward, I got 1 goal in 4 games, right? But that's just kind of the luck of it is, you know, I have a good shot from the point and it'll get through a screen or whatever. Yeah. And it's harder. Honestly, sometimes it's harder to score from in close. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it is. Yeah. Well, do you know when they're breaking down with goalies how they break down chances? Yeah. Have you heard of the red, yellow, green theory? No. So for goaltenders through Hockey Canada, they'll break them down into a red chance, a yellow chance, and a green chance. Yeah. Red chance is the worst chance. Green chance is the best chance to score. Yeah. To score, not to make a save, right?
So any shots that are what are considered red shots, they come from what are called the funnel. So the funnel is not the slot. A lot of people think a funnel looks like what's in front of the net. It's not. These are your point shots with no screen.
Yeah.
Right? These are far distance shots with no screen. These are your bad angle from outside the hash mark close to the board shots that did not come from a pass. Like you just have the puck. I think of Vander Kane, back in the day with the Jets, busting down that top of the, little bit left side of the circle and just a high and wide garbage shot.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
High and wide.
So those are a 98.5% chance to make a save.
Right.
Like if a goalie doesn't stop that puck or a red chance, that's goalie's fault.
Yeah.
There's nobody else's fault on the ice. It's their fault. So, you're not going to score from there. Then you have your yellow chances, and those are your point shots with a screen, or any shot with a screen.
Yeah.
Those are your shots in the slot. High slot, that's a yellow chance. It's got a good chance to beat a goalie. And goalies they're expected to make that save almost 94%.
Yeah.
Sounds high, but we've now added 4% to your scoring chance, so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So those point shots are good. So, a heavy guy like you from the top letting a quick wrister go through screen and traffic, that's a tough shot.
Yeah.
It's not the toughest. He should still battle through it, but you're going to get a good chance to score, and it's probably why you put up points.
Right.
And then your green chances, those are your money shots. That's when the angle changes. So they have what's called the ring road. If you draw an imaginary line in the middle of the ice, right, vertically, not horizontally, so we're not going stands to bench, right? We're going right in the middle through the center ice dot, through the middle of the nets.
Yeah.
Anytime a puck crosses that road, it's a green chance.
Right.
So whether that's your 2-on-1 one-timer,
or even
across
crossing
the other
through.
side. Yep, that's crossing through. That is on a breakaway. Stick handling, big wide stick handles over that road. Anything you can do to make a goalie move left to right, and that puck changing angles fast is going to be a green chance. It also actually counts from coming below the goal line up to the top of the circle, so a depth change. When those chances happen, that is a very difficult shot for a goalie to save.
So what would a wraparound be then?
Garbage.
Garbage. Okay.
Pure garbage.
Yeah.
Pure garbage. If a goalie can't stop a wraparound, he's not a goalie.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying. There's that ring road, but if you can't track the puck behind the net and go post to post, you're trash.
I was going to say, if they consider that a green chance, then I don't know what they're thinking.
No one should ever score a wraparound. They do, but you shouldn't. It's just a junk shot.
Well, it'll happen one out of 50 or 1 out of 100 times.
Yeah, I would never tell a player not to do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know where the puck's going to squirt out. You hit a leg, hit something, and get a good rebound.
Maybe, sometimes you could stuff it through or whatever.
Yeah, but that's just putting pucks on net.
Yeah.
That's always a favorable thing. But, when you talk about a forward having trouble scoring, it's because a lot of the times the wingers are taking red chances. They're outside the funnel. They're not in the slot. They're just putting pucks on net. Those are tough to bang in.
Yeah.
Whereas a defenseman, almost every time a defenseman shoots, it's a yellow chance. Because if you're a defenseman shooting with no screen, again, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're either 9 years old or you suck.
Yeah. Yeah. You just don't have your head up or anything.
Yeah. You never say that about a kid, right? Kid, you're always going to coach. But, I love watching the 18-year-olds and up, and they take a shot and they get to the bench and you can just look and be like, what was that?
Yeah.
I had a kid tell me once, he just knew it in my voice. He comes to the bench, funniest kid I ever coached, great kid.
Yeah.
Dad's a pro golfer, and he's just got an attitude and a knack for the game.
Yeah.
He comes off, I remember just saying, Adam, what the heck was that? And he turns around with a smirk on his face, and he goes, clearly the wrong thing.
Yeah. Well, how else do you answer?
Well, he doesn't know what he did wrong, but he knew he was about to catch flack for something.
Yeah.
And you know what? I laughed. I said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, just, do you know what you did? And he goes, yeah, it was the wrong thing. This is what I did.
Yeah.
He says, I thought about it the whole way to the bench.
Yeah.
And I knew you were going to coach me on it. And I said, all right. You going to do it again? He goes, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of dumb. And he said that, right? And I laughed. I knew he was just trying to make me laugh. And I said, okay, well, if you don't do it again, you can have a lot of ice.
Yeah.
So he went out. Funny kid, though.
Yeah. So, kind of going back to our last question about captains, have you ever stripped a captain of the C?
Yes.
And if so, what were some of the circumstances that made you make the decisions?
Yeah, I had to do it once.
Okay.
And it was a captain of the C. And it was maybe one of my top players that I ever coached. Like, I really, really love this kid.
Yeah, I think I may have an idea, but I won't mention.
Yeah. So this player, he's an 03 born kid, and there is no question in my mind. he's got NHL chance.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make it, I'll eat my hat. He's dedicated. He's just dialed in. Like, this kid is
one of the best scorers I've ever seen.
He is the best scorer I've ever seen. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. He just scores from everywhere, from all angles.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys go and watch it, his name's Connor Roulette. He's a freak.
Yeah.
But in the best way. He's one of the most coachable kids I've ever had. He's always got a great attitude in the room. You know, he never blames. You know, a lot of players, you know, they get hard on him, but they only get hard on him because he's good.
Yeah.
You know, they're unfair to him at times because he's good. You know, sometimes it's easier to knock a guy down than it is to work your butt off and get up there.
Yeah.
But every game, every time, if there's a game on the line, this kid will put a goal in the net.
Yeah.
And he loves it. Like, he's just got that facial expression like Ovechkin when he scores every time, and it's not
the celebrations are awesome.
It's not even because he's like, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
He just loves his team so frigging much that when he scores, he just wants to put him on his back and say, let's go again. Like, he loves winning. But he had a tough situation. Social media is difficult.
Right.
So it was a social media incident, and you know, some kids were picking on him. There's no question about it. He got baited. Yeah. I knew it as an adult. I didn't even need to hear the story from him. But what ended up happening is I got an email to my inbox with a comment on somebody's social media account with the player's name on it. And it wasn't very nice. But at the end of the day, you know, this kid's a great kid, and which one of us can say as a kid that, you know, when you get pushed too far, you don't push back. Right. Right? And sometimes you push back with mean things, but they say mean things too. Yeah. Right? I mean, these are two 13-year-old kids, and the other party in this was not innocent. Yeah. But they didn't get caught. Right. You know, it's tough being an adult at times. You want to be real. And I leveled with him, and I told him, and I said, hey, like, it's tough, but I made a really hard decision. I don't know how it affected our relationship with him, because he's still, to this day, like, I'm cheering for this kid all the way. Yeah. But I stripped his C. I told him it's a very public thing. What happened? It was a mistake. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that it was a hugely public mistake. Yeah. And now that screenshots are out there and that's out there, you know, he was warned before, just like everyone else on the team, that social media is a trap. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, and what you can delete whatever you want, but it'll come back. Yep. And I'm pretty sure they taunted him and suckered him, and I'm pretty sure people deleted their comments before his comment came in and made it look good, and there's just nothing you can do, though. Yeah. You know, you're caught. So I thought I struggled. I really struggled. He got a suspension, you know, from the league, got 3 games. That's what the league stands down. It's right in their policy manual. If you do this, you get 3 games. But, you know, because I know this kid's going, like, I know it. Yeah. There's just part of me that went, like, if he doesn't learn it now, if he doesn't see that, like, he's going to be a leader wherever he goes. He's always going to be a leader. Yeah. And he takes it so seriously, and that he needs to know that one mistake as a leader when you're under the microscope, it can end a career. Yeah. So we're talking a 13-year-old in emotions here, but, you know, he's got to be ready to be 20 years old and have $10 million on the line. Yeah. No kidding. That's a big mistake. Yeah, that is. Right? You know, some of these prospects that we have, they're real. Like, nobody can tell me that when you look at a kid, he's only 13, 14, don't start talking NHL. Well, it's not the first place I go, but at the end of the day, this kid's got it. Yeah. If he burns out, I don't know what happened if he burns out, to be honest. I don't see it happening. But, you know, a knee can go, this can go, that can go, whatever. But tough as nails, good kid. So it hurt. It hurt me a lot. You know, I still think about it at times. But I wish the kid nothing but the best. And, you know, he always says hi when I see him. And I follow him. He's with Team Canada right now, actually. Right. Yeah, he was at the dev camp, right, or whatever? Yeah, top 117, U17 player. And if he doesn't make it, I'll eat my hat. Yeah. Because he scores. Yeah, he scores. You know, he's got a lot of well-rounded attributes to his game, but at the end of the day, he scores. It doesn't matter. Every other attribute is great, but if they cut a score, I don't know what they're looking for. Right. You just can't cut those goals. Mm-hmm. They're important goals. Yeah. So, and he's not Patrick Laine. He doesn't just score. He's not a one-trick pony, but... yeah, he's fast. Oh, skates. Yeah. Incredible skater. Like him and... you know, we could talk about him a little later, but he's got a squad mate there in the 03 age, Carson Lambos. It's funny how good things come in bunches, because those two are... I mean, there's a lot of dynamic players 03. Yeah. A lot, but Those kids are special.
Yeah.
They are special.
Well, we're talking those guys will be getting drafted like to the NHL in a few years if things go well.
Yeah, I'd eat my hat if both of them are below a third round pick in the NHL.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, like, I think they could be first.
Yeah,
For
no
sure.
kidding. Well, they're both going to be special in the WHL this year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Carson will be playing here in Winnipeg, and Connor will be playing in Seattle, right?
Yeah, and they've had a lot of battles. They got a really good professional rivalry, if you will. I got to be at the Manitoba games when Carson's team actually went up 3-0 because of Carson Lambeau's natural hat trick against Connor's team in the final. And Connor actually came back with 4 goals of his own.
Wow.
And some of them were pretty. Like, one went off his butt.
Yeah.
Another was a skate. But like I said, the kid just scores.
Yeah.
Like, even when he's not trying to score, he scores.
Yeah.
Right? So, but he actually got 5 points and carried that team back to an overtime win. And it was literally 4 points Lambeau's, 5 points Roulette, and they just traded.
Yeah.
Like, they're just that good. You could take everyone else off the ice. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
These two it was their show.
Yeah.
So they'll have more battles. They'll have more goes, and they're a very different player. But, Carson's going.
Yeah, it's awesome that one of them's a defenseman and the other one's a forward, right? It's just so cool.
Yep, and you know what? You talk about the prototypical build. Carson has the prototypical build.
Yeah.
He's 6 feet, 6'1". I think he's probably maybe $175. I haven't looked up his stats in a while.
He's ripped. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna finish as a man, a 20-year-old man. This kid will be probably 6'1", 6'2", and 210.
Yeah.
215, just solid. And Connor's a little bit more gangly, if you will, but he's already coming in at about 6 feet, 6'1".
Yeah.
About 150. But again, they have that prototypical look.
Yeah.
They just skate, they touch the ice, and you got a player.
Yeah.
I think Carson could have played in the dub at 15.
Yeah.
Connor did play his 5 games. He did well.
Yeah.
They both played their 5 games at 15-year-olds, but I think Connor or Carson could have got exceptional status.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't go for it, but what's the point? You're 15.
Yeah.
Why get beat up? You just play next year.
Yeah. Well, and the only reason why you didn't play, or the only reason why you didn't go first overall is because Edmonton had the first pick and they picked a kid from Edmonton,
it's
one of the hockey academies there.
It's big money picking a hometown kid.
Yeah.
It is big money to take your hometown kid because hometown kids do butts in the stands.
Yeah.
Their friends will come watch them play, and junior hockey, no matter what anybody says, it's a business.
Yeah.
They're there for money. They got to sell tickets. Number one priority of a coach is to win because winning brings revenue.
Right.
But you also need to sell tickets. If you were a coach that had the stands full every night, even if you didn't win, and the stands were full because of you and whatever you're putting on the ice, you'd never be fired.
Exactly.
Right? So, yeah. So, anyways, that's I had to strip a captain.
Yeah.
It's fucked, but say Louis.
Yeah. Next question is what is your best coaching moment? Your best coaching moment.
Best coaching moment.
Or most memorable.
Oof. There's a lot, but probably my favorite one for me was the first time I got told that I was going to get a AAA team.
Right.
I was really proud of that.
Yeah.
I was really, really proud. I have a lot of pride in the AAA program in the city.
Yeah.
I really thank the guys that did it. That were able to select me. They're still working there now, and they're really good volunteers and really good people. So
right.
that was a big moment of pride for me. That is a little more on the selfish side, and it's really hard to say what the best moment is because really the best moment is probably when you walk into a rink 7-8 years after you've started coaching, and you have this guy behind you, and all you hear is "Hey, coach." This deep voice comes through, and you turn around and you see a guy that's now 8 years older. He's not 13. He's a man. Yeah. He's 20 years old and 12 inches taller than what he was, and big deep voice and peach fuzz on his mustache he's trying to grow, and these when they tell you I had a lot of fun. Yeah. That's the best. Yeah. If a kid's at 20 and telling you I had fun, that's all you coach for. You don't coach for anything else, and you get shit on a lot. Yeah. You take a lot of crap from everybody, but when the dust settles and people look at it and they leave and say, man, that was a great year. Thank you. That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. That kid getting an experience that he can take and say, when he becomes a manager at a company he's working at, or when I've had girls that have played on my teams too, you know, when they become an accountant or wherever they end up in their lives, they're able to look back on it fondly and say, I had fun. Those are the best. You know, and I'm starting to collect them, which is good. I keep seeing the game. It's addicting.
Yeah, it is.
You know, to help someone get there and to see someone reach their goal, it's addicting.
Obviously, this past season you coached my brother. Do you have any funny moments that you remember of that Ryland may have done on the bench or on the ice or in the room or anything?
Oh man, your brother is the best chirper I've ever seen. So he was our captain, and he was, I would have to say, when it comes to pure captain, and I've had 9, he's best I've had. Like, there's no question, and not the most skilled. He's super skilled. But man, that kid knows how to lead. Like, he gets it. Like, when you talk about a kid that is not worried about being cool, he's worried about doing the right thing. It's there. I remember we brought in a tech pack. It was 25 pages and thick. It was dense. Half our team never read it. You know, they read it when I read it with them. They didn't go home and read it. And he came in, you know, 2 days later, and he's asking me about page 24. What are you talking about? He goes, well, I read the book. I said, you know the page number already? He goes, well, I've read it 10 times. You know, and he did. There's no question he did. He knows exactly what's on every page. So, you know, it was hell of a captain. But in terms of funny, he was always serious. Until he wasn't. And I remember in the playoffs, you know, we had this kid named Andrew Ledoux, awesome defenseman. Like, I loved Andrew. Like, people hated playing against him. And I don't blame him. Andrew's, you know, he's meaner than a rattlehead snake. But he's mean. He's a great kid, but he does not feel bad for laying a clean body check.
If you meet him off the ice, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
I pick him on my team every day.
Exactly.
Every day of the week, that kid makes my team.
He's awesome.
Well, he's a nightmare to play against. He's a big defenseman. He's tough. He's a guy you have to match up against. And I will just never forget your brother. He just wouldn't let him live. 6 straight minutes of being chirped from the bench, like, and relentlessly, and just funny. You know, screaming at the top of his head, Ledoux, look at me when I'm talking to you. You look at me, boy, you gotta look over here. Hey, why are you looking at me? There's a game over there. You know, and just like to the point where you could see Andrew ignoring him, but you could also know he can't. You couldn't ignore
he's listening
it.
And he's like, when's this guy gonna stop?
Oh my God. And the chirps are just like they're ridiculous, and they're so funny. Like, oh man, some kid just bit it in the middle of Maples in the center ice, and he gets up and it's silent. You just hear Rye, top of his lungs. Nice one there, bud. Whole rink just, this poor guy. And I'm just howling. I'm like, that's funny stuff. But he got it too.
He did.
He got it back just as many times as he gave it. So, you know, and they were always respectful off the ice. And there was never any comments that I thought anyway went too far. But, man, he's got a funny side and he's quick. He is quick.
Well, another one that he reminded me of earlier today when I said that you were going to be coming on is he was like, ask coach about Eastman when I scored with 7 seconds left, what I told him on the bench.
What did he tell me? What happened?
He was saying, coach, you know NHL 94?
Okay.
And then he was like, you know the celly like this? And then he's like, if I score, I'm doing that.
Oh, I forgot about that. He got the whole team doing it. I forgot. They all left the bench like mechanical robots, but he came through the high five line and he froze. Like a 94 video game that froze. He goes to give everybody a high five and then just glitches. I just died. I forgot about that. Just
like he was telling you about that earlier, and I was like, no way you did that.
Oh, he just straight glitched.
He
straight glitched. We one of our assistant coaches, Jordan, there, he loved the show. Like, he was all about the clownery at times. And he would give the kids ideas for some sellies and stuff and really push them to do it. That was a good one. And I remember too, Ryland never got to do what he wanted to so bad. He said, if any of you score in overtime, just leave the rink. Don't even celebrate, just leave.
Just
pure walk off.
Yeah.
Open the gate, go home.
Yeah. That would be Like, that's honestly one of my dreams. It's just like score an overtime goal, skate past all your teammates, and just open the gates.
Well, you know what? And this is one of the things that people rip on hockey for. You know, Don Cherry with a bunch of jerks to Carolina.
Yeah.
If someone did that in a hockey game, the amount of parents, players, and referees that would say that's classless and that's this and
Yeah.
oh my God, they go the whole 9 yards with no handshake, and they don't realize that these players play each other night in, night out. They're all friends. They know each other well.
Yeah.
And that is freaking hilarious.
Well, the best example of that is probably like the Hawks. They're so close to each other. So when they were on that All-Star team together, you could just see they're all having fun.
Yeah.
Rylan and Andrew, not the best of friends on the ice, but they're on the same team and they're loving it.
Oh, well, that All-Star game, that was something else. Because I tell you, like, holy cow, I have never seen a more violent game in my life.
Yeah, that was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched.
Oh, they were killing each other.
Yeah.
And in the best possible way. The reffing was atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean, we asked the refs before we went out, a bunch of younger guys, maybe 19, and I said, look, it's an all-star game. Like, we need these players healthy.
Yeah.
But there's scouts in the stands. They're going to play hard.
Yeah.
They're going to kill each other. This isn't going to be a day at the rink.
Yeah,
They're
this
trying
is
to
going to
make
be
a list.
NHL All-Star game.
Yeah, they're trying to make a list.
Yeah.
So do me a favor. If it's close, throw them in the box. Even if it's my own guys.
Yeah.
Parade them to the box. It'll calm them down.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
Yeah.
And oh my God, some of the body checks.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Ledoux with, 2 minutes left in the game,
Simon,
coming across the middle. Simon had his head down, and he wholesaled him.
Yeah.
And it was clean as clean could be.
Yeah.
And luckily Simon wasn't hurt, so it was all okay in the end. But my God, you could hear it through the rink. And that was one of 50, 60 big hits.
Yeah.
Just you see 2 of those a season.
Right.
Like, this game was it was another level.
Yeah.
I remember the other coach walking off, and me and him were really good friends from our playing days back in the day.
Yeah.
He's a little soft South Endy though, so.
Yeah.
And he walked by, he's like, wow, this was ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, I agree with you. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all within the rules.
Yeah.
Like, these kids are trying to make a list.
One of my favorite lines was when Rylan and Gagne got together, and Gagne just buzzes around like an Energizer bunny, hits everything that he sees, even though he's tiny.
Yeah, he doesn't do much, but
yeah.
he'll hit them all.
Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It's like he's going through the gauntlet.
Yeah, well, his coach nicknamed him the wood tick.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't get off people. You
Yeah.
don't want him on you. You don't want to play. Like, nobody wants it.
Yeah.
But man, I'd take that kid 9 out of 9 days.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
But,
he is.
And he's the epitome of an agitator. But agitators need them.
Yeah.
It's part
they're
of the
essential
game.
part on your team.
Absolutely. As long as they're not parading themselves to the box or causing injury,
Yeah.
an agitator is a very valuable asset.
Mm-hmm.
You want them on your team. I don't want a guy cheap shotting guys. There's a big
Right.
difference between Matt Cook and Corey Perry.
Exactly.
Cook's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rafi Torres is garbage.
I hate those guys.
A guy people hail as a hero, and he was good within the rules, was Scott Niedermayer.
Yeah.
He was within the rules of the NHL at the time, but I mean, some of those hits were predatory. I mean,
Yeah.
that's career ending on purpose, but it was within the rules of the time. And
Yeah.
whereas I watch a guy like Corey Perry throw a shoot water into Jeff Carter's glove.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that'll
That'll get under your skin.
Yeah, or even, have you ever seen the videos of him taking guys' sticks when he skates past them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like there's a guy in Carolina just sitting on the bench. Corey Perry just skates by and just casually just grabs the guy's stick, and the guy's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
and then
funny.
He'll drop it 5 feet later, but
Yep. It's funny.
it's just something to get under the skin.
Oh, and it does. But you know what? He's 6'3". He's
Yeah.
230.
Yeah.
He's a monster of an unevolved man. Like, I joke, like, if you don't think we evolved from apes, you need to look at Getzlaff and Perry, because
Yeah,
they are shaved apes.
they are.
And, do something about it.
Yeah,
He'll back it up.
yeah,
Drop it with him. Ryan Kessler's the same. A lot of people think he's garbage in terms of, like, they hate him.
yeah,
I'd take him all day.
yeah.
Not now. This is over the hill, but I'd
Yeah.
take Kessler,
Prime Kessler.
2012. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd take him on my team all day.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect mix of agitator and skills. So
Right. So this is kind of a difficult question, I guess, for you to answer, or it might not be too difficult. Is top 5 best players that you've ever coached?
well, it depends on how you look at the question.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the question from guys who I think are going to go, or are you looking from the question of, if I was going to build an all-star team tomorrow for who I would want to coach, who would I pick?
Yeah.
Because that's different.
Right.
And are we all level setting them to the same age? Like, what's the theory here?
So, I don't know. Maybe just the 5 guys that you think are going to go.
That I think I'm going to go pure talent-wise?
Yeah.
So, I might need more than 5.
You can extend it.
So the first one actually came before AAA. Her name's Kate Bumstead.
Yep.
Yeah, she was our captain at Rangers at 13, and she's one of the best hockey players I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She stepped out. She got cut from Monarchs that year. I don't know why, and I'll never tell a coach he did wrong because it's his team, but in the back of my mind, like, I would have picked her all day. Like, she knew the game. She comes from a hockey lineage. She's a good kid. She got a captaincy for a reason.
Yep.
You know, she was tough as nails. She could skate, had a shot, had it all. And really just a perfect player in that sense. So I think you're going to see her in a Team Canada jersey.
Yep.
I know you'll see her in a Div 1 jersey.
For sure.
She'll make Div 1 for sure. She'll get her scholarship. She's too smart and too good not to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. Roulette we already talked about.
Yeah.
I'd eat my hat if Roulette didn't go. That team had so much talent.
Yeah.
That was a weird team. So in the sense that there was actually 7 guys off that team that just won a world championship in ball hockey.
Yeah, I know.
They all made Team Canada from one little area in Winnipeg, and things come in bunches. And this group came in bunches. There was a kid in Rory Neal, Owen Wise, Dawson Pashnik, Cole Plowman, Nate Gabranson. Roulette was on that team. Like, it was a stacked team.
Yeah.
I might have missed someone on it, but like, we actually had kids on that team. Like, Nate Gabranson was one of the best kids I ever coached, and I had to leave him at home for an all-star game where I got to take 7 guys.
Yeah.
And every day of the week, he's the best player on any team I ever coached. But he was behind at the time anyway, a bunch of guys, and he may disagree, which is fine.
Yeah.
But he ended up a draft pick in the dub, deservedly so.
Yeah.
He lit up the league for 90 points the next year, deservedly so.
Yeah.
You know, I saw exactly how good he was. He just, at the little time, I had to make a hard choice.
Yeah.
So he's a hell of a player. Dawson Pasternak is a kid that's he's the most skilled.
Yeah.
He's Mighty Mouse. He's 5'1" when I coached him at best. He's probably 5'6" now, 5'7".
Yeah.
But I've never seen a kid with that kind of skill.
Yeah.
What he can do with the puck is freakish.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And he's a good leader. Probably one of the bigger regrets is I never gave him a letter.
Yeah.
I thought he was goofy at the first, because he's always funny. He's a funny kid.
Yeah.
He's quick. And I thought maybe he'd be too popular. That was wrong. Should have given him a letter. So I think he'll make it. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take the long road, though. I think he's got the Brandon Tanev road coming.
Right.
He's going to play for Portland.
Right.
He decided to sign for Portland, and I think he'll kind of Nick Botanit in the dub. He's going to light it up.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of points.
But, maybe not Brandon Tanev because he played college, but let's say Kyle Connor, Jack Roslovic.
Yeah.
They'll play college for a year. He'll play the dub, till he's 20.
Yeah.
And then he'll maybe play a year in the A, but he could do it.
Yeah.
There's no question he could do it. So he was there. Some of the I never coached them, but there was a hell of a goalie on the other team one year. His name was Tyler Brennan.
Yeah,
we
I
had a
know
lot of
that
good
is,
goalies too, but Tyler special. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it takes to make it as a goalie. There's
Yeah.
so few goalies. And then moving up, a lot of the Monarch kids, like the Monarch kids from this year, the 05 group, they're the surprise kids.
Yeah.
So the difference between the 03 group is they were lit at 11.
Yeah.
These kids were lit. Like you could see it coming. This group is balanced. Like the 05 group in Winnipeg is very balanced, not just the Monarchs, but a lot of other players. And there's a lot of work ethic here that's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. If I'm picking a team, I said, you think guys are going to go?
Yeah.
Like I'm taking Rylan as my captain.
Mm-hmm.
Even over some of those big names I said. Like he's got that leadership role locked in.
Yeah.
Top 2 center, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. It goes roulette, him, bang, bang. That's my 1-2 hole, and I'm ready to go, and you build the team from there.
Yeah.
There's a couple interesting guys from the league this year. Like, I like to think about guys that are going to make it as a role player, because your top players are always competing for top spots.
Yeah.
But there's always guys like Adam Lowry that are going to be a third liner their whole life, and they're just going to be the best third liner in every team they ever play on.
Yeah.
They got that role. So, I actually do think a kid named like Jack Derrick could do this.
Yeah.
We joke with him, about
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, but he could do it.
He could.
His penalty killing is that good.
Yeah, he's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. He's got the prototypical build. He could do it. A kid we had a team this year, Cole Kennedy.
Right.
He
Cole
could
K.
really surprise some guys in a draft. Where Rylan exceeds is the fact that he can actually check 12 boxes. So 12 forwards on a team. You're going to pick him on top 6 talent.
Yeah.
But you're going to pick a safe player when you pick him, because worst case scenario is you're getting a really good 3rd line, 4th line player. He'll play at whatever position you need to. He doesn't pigeonhole himself into one role. But if somebody picks him as a 4th liner, he'll make his way to the 1st.
Yeah.
He won't be denied. Like, I've never had a kid work that hard. And I'm not just saying it because you're his brother. Like, that kid, he will pay his dues until he's there. And if he finally finds someone that is better than him, then he will just find a way to beat them.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have the skill, he'll beat them. He will. Just will do it. You need some combination of talent in there. He's got it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But, I mean, you're from a lineage of champions.
Yeah.
Your dad knows how to win.
Yeah.
So it's not like it doesn't run in the family. 2 world championships. So
yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, top 5, I would go Roulette, Gould, Pasternak would be in there. I'd have a really tough time not adding a kid from the Warriors named Sam Zagari.
Yeah.
I'd probably add him in there.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He's got some work to do on other spots, but he's good.
Yeah.
He got passed up this year, and he shouldn't.
Yeah.
I know why he did, but he'll get there if he wants to get there. That's his call. And then number 5, I'd throw Kate in there.
Who?
I'd throw Bumstead in there. Kate. Yeah. And in no particular order. I don't know. I couldn't order those if you tried.
Yeah.
I could put him in a position.
That's true.
Right? Like when I say a 1-2 role at a center, like there's a lot of kids and players that get stressed. Am I the 1 center or the 2 center? The answer is, does Malkin care?
Yeah.
Is Malkin the number 1 center? Everyone will unequivocally say absolutely, but he's not.
Yeah.
There's games Malkin's the number 1 guy. There was a whole 2-3 seasons he was the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
It's whatever the team needs at the time.
Well, the 09 playoffs, he won the Conn Smythe. Crosby was on his team.
Yeah. I mean, check the ego at the door, right? Like, in Russia, he's the number 1. In Canada, it's Crosby.
Yeah.
For me as a coach or the Pittsburgh Penguins GM at the time, who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody should. And I don't think either the players cared.
No.
And they shouldn't care. Why would you care? You're getting all the ice time in the world anyway.
Yeah.
You're just not on the same line. Big deal.
Yeah, power play. You guys are out there together.
Yeah.
You guys, they both probably get 20 minutes a game.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
And they both get paid the same.
Yeah.
They both go to all-star games. Like, what who cares?
They both go to All-Star games. They both go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
All those things. World championships.
So guys worrying about the spot they're in. There's a very big difference between a 1-2 center and a 3-4.
Yeah.
That to have a third center that you would say your 1-2-3 punch at center is rare.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a team in the NHL that would have that.
I think...
Tampa had some deep guys at center at time.
Tampa had Stamkos, and they had Point, and I don't know, but then...
See, you always struggle with the third guy.
Yeah, it's always like...
And the third guy is good.
Yeah.
You always have a third guy that is solid, but he's just not the same as 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like the Bruins, had they not let Sagan go, you would have had Bergeron and Sagan and Krejci. That
Yeah.
would have been freakish.
Yeah.
Like, why they cut him.
Well, it was like that for 2 years, and then they traded him to Dallas for Eriksson.
Oh, terrible move.
Yeah.
Terrible move, but whatever. But that may have been the closest team to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if I think about the old 96, Red Wings that put up massive points, or the old 96 Avs that were good. Like, yeah, their 1-2 was amazing. Third was good, but just...
Yeah.
You're never going to get 3 that way.
Well, and another 1-2 was Messier-Gretzky, obviously.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Gretzky is 1, but not every night.
Yeah, two of the greatest players ever.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Gretzky didn't win a cup when he left.
Yeah.
Messier did.
He won 2 of them.
Well,
right?
So is Gretzky better? Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't think he is, it's crazy. But Messier is a winner.
Yeah.
Gretzky may be a winner, but he couldn't carry the Kings by himself. Messier carried that 94
Rangers team.
They were good. But, I mean, if he wasn't there, that Rangers team doesn't go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, those would probably be the 5. I would say, if I was coaching a team I'd like, There's a lot of guys that would make it that people be like, why? And it's just because they're fun. They're just dressing room guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to kill it. You know, I've mentioned too, and Jack and Cole, and I had a whole whack load of them over at the Hawks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
Speaking of Cole, actually, was my next question.
Yeah.
This may have shocked some of the people around the AAA league when you selected him.
Yeah.
Because he had played A1 the year before. It didn't surprise me at all because he was fire in tryouts.
Yeah.
When was the moment that he intrigued you in tryouts? Like, was it right away, or was it just kind of something that built on and it was...
So tryout 1, we saw him, and I remember we all said the same thing in the room when we talked about him. He's big, he's strong, he's got a weird stride, but he's fast.
Yeah.
It's not ugly,
yeah,
but it's weird. I don't understand why he's A1. That was the first thing that came up. Nobody could understand why he's A1. Like, and you always wonder, like, you don't look at where a kid played last year, but you look.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'm contradicting myself there, but you don't look, but you look. And in the back of your mind, your own bias still tells you, well, he's A1. There's got to be something. You're looking for something broken.
Yeah.
But no, we had him on the radar tryout 1, and then, you know, tryout 2 and 3. And Cole was the kid that every tryout he just got better.
Yeah.
He just did exactly what you said, and he just worked his teeth off. And then more importantly, he was connecting with the guys.
Yeah.
And he wasn't overthinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like what did he get in tryouts there? 10 goals.
Yeah, he got so many goals.
It was ridiculous, and he got a hat trick or something on his first game. Like 5 goals in 3 games.
I remember that. It was awesome.
But the reason he did it, and I picked players like Cole before from an A1 and made the double jump. He's not the first one to make the double jump for me. They don't know what they don't know, and Cole, in my opinion, through those tryouts, he just played loose. You know, he didn't have any pressure.
Yeah.
So he just did whatever. And sometimes doing whatever is the right thing because the simple thing's usually right. So lo and behold, the puck's on his stick at the top of the circle. He just shot.
Yeah.
He didn't hesitate. Here, I'm just going to shoot. Why? Because I'm on top of the circle.
Yeah.
Some really good players still don't get that.
Yeah.
Just shoot the puck, man.
Yeah.
You're there.
Well, my coach would always be like I would pass it for a tap in or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, Nathan, you would have sniped there. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, shoot the puck.
Well, I think Tyler would tell you, and I would tell you, like, if you're in the slot, you don't pass. I don't care if there's a tap in. You shoot.
Yeah.
But if you pass and it goes in, sure, great. That's
Yeah.
fine. We'll take it all day. But I will always coach a kid to shoot, and he did, and goals just went in because there was no pressure. He didn't know what he didn't know. He just played. His dad booked him a trip to Disneyland because he didn't think he could pick.
Yeah.
And he just kept showing up for a round, and he's like, am I going to make this team?
Yeah. Well, I strictly remember while Ryland and Cole played when they were 8. And Cole was one of the top guys, and he was always one of the top guys, and then it came to 11-year-old tryouts, and Cole was just too slow.
Yeah.
He was too slow for 11, and he got cut first round, which I think was a mistake. Like, he could have been brought along a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then he didn't try out when he was 12 because he got cut first round. And then my dad, me, and Mark were all talking about, you know, like, I don't know if Cole should do it. And my dad's like, it's the first year AAA. You never know what happens.
Yeah.
Make Cole try out.
Yeah.
And he's like, Cole wants to or whatever. I just don't know if I have the confidence in him. I'm like, put him in tryouts.
Yeah.
You never know if there's a coach that loves something about him.
Yeah.
And then he showed up and I was like, this guy's on the team. He was just that good right off the beginning.
Yeah, it was clear. He was on the team.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bubble kid.
Yeah.
You know, he was already slotted in somewhere between 8 and 5.
Right.
You know, and when you're slotted in when you're picking 11 forwards, 12 forwards,
yeah.
You know, if you're slotted 8 and 5, it's really hard to fall off that.
Right.
You're not going to fall to 12.
Right.
You know, you got to do something catastrophic. And it was funny. I remember I asked him the second round. We had an interview, and I said, "So, why didn't you play AA last year?" And he told me he didn't try out. I said, "Why didn't you try out?" And Cole point blank just tells me, he goes, "Well, I got cut the first year, so and didn't bother. They just told me I was too slow. So what's the point?"
Right.
And then I kind of laughed, and he goes, "Well, what's funny?" I said, "You're being a baby." and he's scared, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Here's an adult. This is a kid. I'm trying to make a team. You just call me a baby?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're being a baby. Like what? You got cut, so you're gonna quit, fold up your tent, go home?
Yeah.
Like, what if I cut you? You gonna quit hockey? Is that it? It's over?
Yeah.
Like, no more to ever be played because, like, you know, the opinion of one man is gonna change the world for you?
Yeah.
And he kind of laughed. I said, "No, seriously. Like, really, you can't let my opinion change your view on you.
Yeah.
You like this game. You want to play. You play. I don't know if you're gonna make the team yet, but you have a shot.
Yeah.
You're here." this isn't an accident. I'm not taking you as a body. Like, you're doing good, right? So giving him that carrot. A little bit of a test to see if he folds.
Right.
Because when a kid tells you quit before, you want to see, why. You really got to test that.
Right.
Like, where's the mental fortitude? And it was there.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't back down. He laughed, he smiled, and I was like, this is a kid that'll fit nice in the dressing room. He's got it, and then I talk a lot more to players in tryouts than most coaches do.
Yeah.
I try to weed out look for a lot of mental toughness.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of quick tests that I'll do with kids. Like Jack Darrett this year, he was slotted in from camp. He's that good. He just skates well.
Yeah.
And he came out one tryout, and I just remember his blade was busted bad. Like, he couldn't stand. He looked like Bambi on ice. 6'1" against a bunch of 5'6", 13-year-olds. He kept falling everywhere.
Yeah.
And we went in the room, and I remember I told in front of the whole room, I just said, Darren, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And he goes, I have no idea. I said, yeah, you're in the middle of a tryout. This is a horrible time
yeah.
to look like that. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You didn't bring an extra set of blades, eh? This is how you show up.
Yeah.
This is you, eh?
Prepared. Yeah.
And he just looks, he's like, yeah, I own that one. Sorry. And he kind of smiled a bit about it, and I went, all right, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you would have slunk off into the corner and, the world's that would have been different, but he didn't. He just owned it and figured it out, and it was all good. So yeah, no, Cole made the team pretty quick. No regrets on that pick.
Yeah, well, he was great.
Yeah, and he hasn't. They have a typical path. An A1 player, typical path is they come out of the gate hot, and then they regress mid-season. And the reason they regress is they actually I feel they get in their own head. They start getting the hype.
Yeah.
Like, now I've just scored 5-6 goals in my first couple games, and I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Cole wasn't supposed to be
a
big scorer, right? I'm just supposed to be the 11th guy.
Yeah.
No. So now he's scored, so he wants to keep that pace up, right? He wants to keep going, so he's going to now start overthinking and trying things that he wasn't trying. So they get away from the simple game.
Yeah.
And they go into a complex game, and things don't go well there. And he was good. He was still defensively sound and no problems, but you could see the scoring went away just due to his own. He needed to work through it.
Yeah.
And then he started working through it, and he came out the other end. And I would say after a couple kids went to RHA, I'd have Cole in top 3 this year for Bantam too.
Yeah.
If you came up and told me Cole got,
sure.
Yeah, if he got 50 points this year, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah.
I'd expect that. If he made the All-Star team, outside shot.
Yeah.
There's other guys I think will get there before him, but if he made it, I'd be like, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
He's that good.
For sure.
So yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Has there ever been a time that you absolutely ripped into a referee or an opposing coach during a game?
Never an opposing coach.
Yeah, you've just always stayed calm, obviously.
No. I don't have a reputation for calm.
Yeah.
I don't. So here's my thing with referees.
Yeah.
Right? So this game is exhausting. Parents are paying $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Right? People are putting in blood, sweat, and tears, real time. An endless amount of time. A coach puts in. Every day there's a practice, you put in an hour and a half before the practice even starts. That's your plan, that's your prep. In the off season, you're probably putting in, 500 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In the summer.
That's a lot of prepping for the season.
And that doesn't include any of the clinics you got to go to. That's just you. And you're putting together your macro plans and what your schedule is going to be for the year and what you got to do. And you're planning each and every nuance of this game. And then you end up having to go to clinics. Like I did my high performance clinic with Hockey Canada this year. That cost me $2,000 out of my pocket. It didn't get paid for. And it cost me an entire week's of work vacation. That's another $2,000. Right? Because that's salary. Take that off. I got paid it, but now I can't go to the cottage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then I had to do 2 years and a 190-page report for them, plus on-ice evaluation, just to stand on a bench for free.
Right.
After my honorarium, I think I make $1.15 an hour.
Yeah.
Broken it down, so to do it for free. And referees don't get paid that much either. But when you're getting $55 a game just to show up, ref, and leave, yes, they have clinics.
Yeah.
Yes, they have that. What I ask is that they don't make it about them.
Right.
And some will. There's a different motivator at times for a referee than there is for coach or player. Players trying to be number one and make teams.
Yeah.
Right, and win. A coach and me specifically anyway, but most coaches, the career in a coach is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it doesn't matter how much you want to stick this out. Like, to take anyone in from 25 to 45 years old or older and say, hey, do you want to move to, Bwatno, North Dakota, or do you want to move to Estevan, Saskatchewan for $15,000 a year to coach? That's the next step right into junior.
Yeah.
The answer is no most of the time.
Yeah.
But for a referee, it's an interesting path, because if you're a good skater and you look great on the ice, regardless of how you manage the game, they really like that 6'1" prototypical body type.
Yeah.
Pretty skater, looks great, looks in command, is going to fit well in the NHL, because Hockey Manitoba or Saskatchewan or whatever body it is, they want their referees obviously to go through, because there's some notoriety in that too.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about AAA is it's that proving ground for them to get to the next level. So they'll get into AAA, but there is a lot of motivation at that level. They make decent money. They make more than we do, way more if you go down per hour.
It's great money for.
It's great
per game,
and it should be. It should be even more, to be honest. They eat a lot of crap. Don't tell them, like, I'm not sitting here telling you they have it easy, but at the same time, they're the only ones in the game that are paid. No one else is paid, and when someone's paid, I expect them to do a job to a fair level. And if they're not paying attention to the game or unable to keep up to the play, which you see with some skaters, or unable to communicate to a coach and come up with their reason. I don't care what your reason is. Just be confident and tell me, hey, this is why I made this call.
Yeah.
And move on. That's it. Cool. We're good. And be strong in your convictions. It'll be fine. So, at times when they lose it, you've put in a lot of time as a coach.
Yeah.
And sometimes your emotions get the better of you. They shouldn't. You calm down after, but you'll give it to them. Mm-hmm. So I'll give it to a guy and say, like, look, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
You're not, I can't understand what you're calling, and all I'm looking for in the game is I'm just looking for his consistency level, or hers, because we had a couple good female refs this year.
Yeah.
All I want to know is where their line is, and if their line is different or really out there, tell me why.
Yeah.
And I can coach to that. If they want to put 30 penalties on there, that's fine. If it's equal and you touch the head and that's 4 minutes, I'm good.
Yeah.
I just need to know the line. But hockey is it's a bit of a tirade on hockey, but please, like what is cross-checking?
Yeah.
What's the rule? I mean, we can read the rule.
Yeah, we could read it, but it's...
Why is a cross-check okay if the guy doesn't fall?
Yeah.
Why can I beat on him with a stick in front of the net, and not steer, but like physically beat with a cross-check, as per the rules, in front of the net? Because this guy's tough. He's not going down. He's there to screen. Everything's okay. But the minute he face plants, that's 2? Why?
Yeah, and why?
I don't get it.
Why could you beat up a guy's lower back and then you touch him a little bit in the middle?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's a cross check. It's like,
what changed?
Well, boom, 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 and then it's like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know where the lines come from or what referees do on it, but it's also the same thing with the slash.
Slash.
Okay, so the stick breaks, that's an easy slash.
Yeah.
But why not when you catch them on the ankle?
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, that's just a battle. And there's these interesting rules that happen with Hockey Canada that, they'll instruct the refs, and the refs won't tell us, actually. Their game changes, and sometimes they won't inform us.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, the game changed where Hockey Canada told the referees, if it doesn't affect the play, don't call it. But 2 years before that, if you got a guy behind the play, you were gone.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Right.
So it changed completely. So you're sitting here wondering, a guy dumps your guy in the corner with a bad hit, that guy gets up, slashes him in the ankle, and you ask the ref, like, both those guys should go.
Yeah.
Because you see it as a coach. What's going to happen now is the game's going to get out of control.
Exactly.
And it's going to be no fun, and kids are going to get hurt, and then a whole bunch of emotions are going to run hot. As a coach, put your hand up, put them both in the box, let them cool down. I'm good. I'm great. I prefer more than less.
It's fine.
So, go for it. But the best ref we ever had, her name was Amy.
Yeah.
She's not dead.
Yeah.
Her name is Amy.
Yeah.
And she's actually not that popular with a lot of coaches.
Is she the one with the blonde ponytail?
Blonde ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great ref. She refed us a couple times this year.
Yeah, and you know what? There's no part of me that doesn't believe it's not hard to be a girl in this game. It is.
Yeah.
It's just a fact of life.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be, but it is. And she calls a good game. She can skate. And I remember one game, great hit, just a good, clean hit. She puts up her hands and calls it board.
Right.
And what the heck? Goes to the box, and the next hit happens, and it's a board. And then it's a board. And there's 4 boards.
Yeah.
I called her over. I said, what are you doing? And I said it just like I said it to you. Like, I'm kind of hot, and it could come off as rude. Like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she goes, you know what, coach? Honestly, I screwed up. Screwed up 4 times? She goes, no, my first call, the first board that I called, I didn't like my standard. But I called it. And I got to hold the game to the same standard. Mm-hmm. She says, I can't give you guys a 2-minute penalty and then not give it to everybody else. I've set the standard. This is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, which is fair.
And I went, next time you ref me, just tell me what your standard is as it changes, and we're all good.
Yeah.
Call away. And there was 15 boards that game.
Yeah.
And it was fine. I was good with it. From a coach, I was like, that's fine. Because it was equal. Yeah. I could tell my players, if you make a hit 2 feet from the boards and it makes a noise, you're going to the box. Clean or not.
Yeah.
Play around it. Adjust your game. And they adjusted. Not a problem, right? But when you got a guy that just makes a call out of nowhere, like, what's a knee? Like, why when a guy is carrying a puck, can he make a juking motion, catch a guy on a knee, and that's his fault sometimes because he made the motion, and the other time it's the other guy's fault because he should have got out of the way?
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
No. No, I don't get it at all. So just call everything a knee and let's move on, right? Or interference is my favorite. You chip around the defenseman, you're a big winger, right?
Yeah.
You make that chip and he gets up in your face right away, and they have a little circle that you're allowed to hold him up.
Yeah.
But why? That's hurting the game. You should have to turn. Even if you're a foot away, turn. Let that guy go. He made the chip. It's a good chip. Let him through. But, it's an interesting go away.
Yeah.
Like, what is interference? I don't even know anymore.
Well, it's like interference is like obviously when the guy doesn't have possession of the puck, right? But then they have this stupid time frame, and it's like, well, some refs 0.8 seconds is actually 3.
Sure.
And then some refs is right when you chip it, hits, and all of a sudden it's interference. It's like,
and you see this in the NHL, so don't think I'm bagging on young guys.
And the thing that I hate about interference, I think it's interference, cross-checking, boarding,
hitting from behind. All
of it is the referee's discretion or the intent, and it's like, okay, well, how can you measure what like a referee might be more soft than another one?
How do you measure intent?
Like yeah.
The rule is the rule.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, there's always going to be, like, referees should be in sports. They're good. Like, it shouldn't go up to the top, and it's got to happen live. I'm good with all that. But, like, the rules just got to be clear. You know, it's like every rule in hockey feels like a catch in football. Like, it's like this plus this plus this plus this.
Yeah.
Like, they give the idea that boarding is a violent check into the boards. What's a violent check?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should that guy be 2 feet from the board? Should he hit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
And a lot of the things with, like, I think that if you turn
prior
to a guy hitting you from behind, you should get a penalty.
Okay.
What the? Okay, so I'm a defenseman. I'm coming in, and I'm coming to hit you.
Yeah.
And then you turn your back right as I'm about to make contact, and then you go to the boards, 5-minute major.
Yeah.
And you're out of the game. It's like, how's that fair?
Yeah.
A lot of the time. And then they're like, well, the player needs to have, needs to be aware. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, I'm already mid-check, and the guy turns.
So I'll play devil's advocate for you on that. I actually agree with that rule.
Yeah.
Because that could put a guy in a wheelchair.
That's true.
But I've been in that position many times like you, and I've been ejected, and it's the worst. But why is it sometimes when you hit a guy from behind, it becomes a board?
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
I hate that.
If you're going to call a hit from behind to protect players, when you hit the numbers, call it and eject them. In the NHL, how many hits from behind do you see? A million?
A lot.
How many are called a hit from behind? None.
Yeah.
0.
Literally 0.2%.
It's all a board.
Yeah.
So the guy's teeth eats the boards. Literally that whiplash head into the boards.
Yeah.
And as long as he's not hurt, 2 minutes, boarding.
Well, okay.
That's a check from behind. Right on his numbers.
This is the worst.
That's the rule.
Minor hockey, they tell the referees to change penalties if a kid's injured.
Yes.
So say there's a kid and I originally called it a board and it was going to be a 2-minute board, but then the kid lays there for 30 seconds. I go to the box, sorry buddy, it's a 5-minute major because this guy got injured.
Yeah.
How is that fair? It should just be a 2 or a 5 and you just deal with the call.
Yeah, well, just look at you can look at the call and know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know when you light a guy up from behind and it makes a big friggin' noise.
Yeah.
And that kid isn't moving. You know you're getting a 5.
And you hear
first you're hoping that kid is alive, but you know you're getting a 5.
Yeah.
It's game over.
I remember the one time I got a 5 and I looked at the ref and I was like, yeah, I know. And then I got down and I was like, are you okay, bud? And he's just like, Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I literally skated. I didn't even let the
deserve
ref get the call.
Yeah, I deserve that. You know, but it's funny. Like all these, the easiest call to make in hockey is a trip.
Yeah.
It's visual.
Yeah.
Right? Slashing in the NHL just got added that if you touch the gloves and that, and rightfully so. Like
Yeah.
how many times before this rule would guys get whacked and it was okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like a stick press is supposed to be on the first 18 inches of a stick. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Everything else is off limits. So if you want to clean it up, take it away. And I know you gotta let it play, but I think if you look at the playoffs this year,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a marketing tirade or my own beliefs, but how are Americans or anyone else in this world who you're trying to sell the game to supposed to get on if they can't figure it out? So in the regular season, they call the game one way.
Yeah.
And the playoffs happen, they call the game a different way. And I truly believe it's why the Tampa Bay Lightning lost. They're a regular season team built for zero tolerance NHL game with speed.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs happen, and John Tortorella and his nutty brand of coaching comes out and beat the living crap out of the tiny, speedy Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
And fold them in 4, and everyone's shocked. And I have no shock. Of
Yeah.
course they did. They got away with murder. They were allowed to. Would I have done the same thing as Torts? Darn rights I would.
Yeah.
That's how you beat them. Is it good hockey? Sure, but we're in a weird time for hockey now where we don't know which we want to be.
Yeah.
Are we still a tough game that allows open ice hitting and fighting? Or are we worried now about concussions and are we going to go to a skilled game?
Yeah.
And they're trying to blend it and they're just worrying too much. Just call the rules as they're written and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
It'll all be fine.
A lot of, and I mean, I don't know if it was just me watching from the corner, but your first round series against the Hawks,
Yeah.
was literally just who doesn't die first. It was just
We lost 7 players.
Yeah.
And we didn't just lose 7 players. We lost 7 best in
Yeah.
order.
Yeah.
Like in order of 1 to 7, all injured.
Yeah. And it was like 7 all-stars too.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go into the Warriors series, you have like 12 guys.
12 guys, 2 call-ups from AA.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought our guys, man, I thought they played with a lot of heart.
Yeah.
But man, they were outmatched. And how are you supposed to be matched when you're down 7?
Yeah.
You're not. You're going to be. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
If we would have pulled it off, it would have been like the miracle on ice.
No kidding.
You know, and not saying we couldn't have. You know,
Yeah.
1 out of 1,000 times, 1 out of 100, we could pull that off for sure.
Yeah.
But man, they're coming in healthy, rested, ready to go. But again, it's because the rules changed.
Yeah.
You know, why did the rules have to change? The rule is written very clearly. Like you read the rule book, it's really not as black and white as people think.
Yeah.
But the culture of hockey has definitely done that, right? Like, that's not a cross check, that's a battle.
Yeah.
What? There's no term battle in the rule book.
Yeah.
Scrums are my favorite before you move on to there. Scrums are my favorite. I think that's the most useless thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Why are you allowed to go in front of the net and face wash a bunch of guys and pull them off and slash and do all this? You face wash a guy in the NFL, you're game ejected.
Yeah.
It's over. Done. See you later. You grab a guy's helmet, you're ejected. Like, I
Yeah.
like the idea of you blow the whistle, especially in the Olympics. Blow the whistle, get back in line, play again.
Yeah.
Or allow fighting back. I know fighting is allowed, but like with the instigator rule and all this, it's
Yeah.
there, but it's not.
Well, even in minor hockey, I think that there should be a degree of fighting because it's like sometimes a guy's joking you around, and then all of a sudden you're suspended for 3, 5, 7, 10 games.
Yeah.
Because you and the other guy go.
Well, and this is interesting because you're a
Yeah.
young man, right? You're 16, 17,
Yeah.
right? So 13-year-old playing 13-year-old, 16-year-old playing 16-year-old, you know, you're like, it's fine, let us do it. But the truth is you're not being paid.
Yeah.
Do you really need to? I would say 99 out of 100 fights, you're going to be fine. Both
Yeah.
players are going to be fine. But that 1 out of 100, there's no joke as playing lacrosse at 15. It turned me off from it. Not from lacrosse, but from fights quickly.
Yeah.
We went in a corner. I was standing right there. It was on Mother's Day. I can still see all this happening, like, as it happened. 2 guys got into a fight. They popped each other's helmets off. And our player, from probably below his knees, like Ty Domi, just landed a right hook on this guy's nose. Broke his nose so bad, blood everywhere. There was like a mural of blood on the glass. Just everywhere. I've never seen so much from a punch.
Yeah.
The fight is over. It's done. Broken nose, not going to scare me off that much.
Yeah.
That's what happened after. The ref didn't get involved. And this kid was out on his feet. And our player continued to beat him.
Into
It
the
wasn't
glass,
a fight. He beat him. Like it was criminal. And he hit him so many times. He ragdolled him. The guy couldn't defend himself long after the first punch. He got punched at least 25 times.
Yeah.
And by the time it was done, he had 45 stitches from ear to mouth. He had busted him open from his mouth to his ear.
Oh my.
Like the Joker.
Yeah.
He punched the top of his ear off. I don't know how you do that, but he punched it off. He separated the top of his ear, 3 front teeth missing, broke his nose in every place possible, broke his orbital bone in 3 spots. It took this poor kid 3 plastic surgery operations to get put together. So, was it worth it for that kid? No.
Not at all.
No, because that ref wasn't qualified to break it up. And frankly, there are some really tough, badass people on this planet, and that's who my teammate was. And he didn't feel bad. And frankly, he shouldn't. It's a sports fight. The guy challenged him. There's 2 guys going. And as crazy as it sounds for anyone here that hasn't been in one, if you get in a fight, you throw to win.
Yeah.
He's trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
If you don't hurt him, he's hurting you. Well, there's no way out of this.
You got to turn on the rage switch there, and you
have to.
Yeah. If you don't, then you're going to be on your ass.
Well, it is a fight or flight, and there's nowhere you can run in sports. There's no using your words at that point. If you're in a fight, you're in a fight, and you have 2 choices, and it's either get hurt or hurt him.
Yeah.
There's only 2 ways out of this.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? So he did what he should have done. But yeah, ever since then, I'm like, you know what? It just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
NHL, sure. You want to get paid millions of dollars? Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. You're getting money? Go.
Yeah.
Money and go. I'm in. Because for $1 million, I'm sure you'd do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd do it for league minimum.
Yeah, I would. For sure.
I'd fight anyone for league minimum.
Yeah.
I'd lose every one of them, but I'd do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. I'm getting paid.
Yeah, $700,000 a year. Put it on an NHL uni, get in the stands, do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Even if I'm scratched. Yeah. A lot of the time. I don't care. I'll fight guys in practice.
And don't get me wrong. 16, 17-year-old me, even 33-year-old me in beer league. Yeah, when a fight's going to happen, it's going to happen. You're amped up.
Yeah.
You're not thinking like I just talked about there. But that's why the league needs to protect kids and not have it there. And I would even take it out of junior at this point because they don't get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my only fundamental thing. If they paid junior guys to do it, then sure.
Yeah.
If you sign a contract, you're over 18, you're making money, you're making a living, do what you want. And then it gets into the argument about boxing and MMA for kids and whatever. But you know what? We're not in boxing, we're not in MMA, we're in a skilled game.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to fight in football, we're good here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, next question here. We were talking about Rylan and Andrew having a little bit of a mini rivalry throughout the year. Was Rylan's hit behind the net against Andrew one of the bigger collisions you've ever seen?
Second. Yeah. Second biggest. Cole K's on Liam Saxon this year was number 1. I've never seen a hit like that. But Rylan and Andrew looked for each other.
Yeah.
And they lived on it. That was 2 captains that just loved battling. And it actually reminded me of when the Calgary Flames in 2004, they beat the Detroit Red Wings in the playoffs to advance the Cup final when Joe McGinley fought Darian Hatcher. Yeah. That's what this reminded me of. It was just 2 captains, 2 bulls going at it. And he laid him out. But the funny thing is, Andrew laughed.
Yeah. He
laughed.
They both got up there.
They loved it.
Yeah.
They both loved it.
Yeah.
But, for anyone not, who hasn't seen the Goulds, they are squares. And in the best possible, not in like a, hey, hippie square way, but like, what are your eyes? They're situated 2 inches in the back of your skull.
Yeah.
Your and your dad's hands are bigger than my chest.
Yeah.
And I'm not small. So, you guys are not afraid to mix it up if you got to.
Yeah.
And you do it with a smile, which is twisted.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a psychopathic thing. We just...
But then you come home and tell your mom how much you love her and she makes you cookies and, and dad tells you that and everything's all good there.
Yeah, it's like, I'll come home. Nathan, how's your game? Oh, I wanted to kill this guy, but it was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, Nathan, don't talk like that at the dinner table. Yes, Mom. Love you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mom. It won't happen again.
Yeah, that's the goal. So it's good.
Yeah, I just love that. And, do you have any other stories that you'd like to share about coaching, playing, anything, even scouting?
Scouting's interesting.
Yeah, before we wrap this up a little bit.
Yeah, scouting's interesting because scouting is your likelihood of taking attributes and having them connect to another team. And it's I like doing it The big key for a scout is to understand what you're picking. You know, in your first 2 rounds when you're picking, you're looking for a guy, you know, the top guys you're scouting, you're looking for guys with high floors.
Yeah.
I'm not really looking for a high ceiling. I'm looking for more floor because it's very risky. When you make a first round investment in someone, he better make the team.
Yeah.
You know, if your first round pick doesn't make the team, and not all first round picks do, it has a high bust rate.
Yeah.
That's why the first round pick is so important. I don't care where you're picking from, but you need that guy to play minutes.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to get invested in that player, and your second round pick's the same. And, you know, it's different in the Western League than it is in the NHL. You know, in the NHL, your first round pick needs to play, but 50% don't. Your second round pick needs to play, but 70% don't. And then actually picks 3 through 7 statistically have the same chance of playing.
Yeah.
7th rounder, 3rd rounder in the NHL. But there's so many players. In the Western League, you know, your 10 picks that you're making, you're hoping 7 or 8 of them play.
Yeah.
They need to find a spot on your roster at 16, 17, 18, right? They have a 3-year gap there. So, you know, being a 7th round pick in the dub is nothing to sneer at. You can make this team. You can make it as a walk-on.
Exactly.
But it's very important that when you're making that pick or you're scouting that you're able to articulate the floor that player could hit. So we talked about it earlier. You know, you have roles and types of ways the coach want to play.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to sell a kid very quickly to an organization if you're able to tell them at 18 or 17 you've got a top 3, and if it fails, you've at the worst got a 3rd line scoring guy.
Yeah.
He's going to play. So potential to go up here is there. It's very similar to NHL fantasy mode when they put it up, you know, elite, medium elite, all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what you're doing. And then you're just looking for guys that you think are going to fit that mold. And scouting at the 14-year-old age is super weird.
Yeah.
Like these are kids, and some scouts that I know, like they'll call your school. They can't legally. They will.
Yeah, they'll call your school.
And if you don't think that school won't give them info, they all got friends somewhere. They'll get it. They shouldn't get it, but they get it.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get the quick wink. Yeah, this person's a little bit of an unhinged kid at school. You know, oh, okay, maybe I won't pick him.
Yeah.
There was a scout from one dub team. He would actually go in his track jacket, and he'd sit there and he'd scout. And his father just loved going to games. He'd go sit in the stands and evaluate the parents. You can believe that?
Wow.
So if he got a kid that he knew was a hot prospect, he'd actually have his dad, who was like 70 years old and looked super unlike. He just blended in.
Yeah.
Someone's grandpa, right? He'd go sit right behind those parents. They wouldn't see it coming. And if you had 2 parents going, that kid sucks, this kid sucks, that kid's fat, this coach has no idea what he's doing. No, not picking that kid.
Yeah.
I don't care how good he is. Like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
Right? If that's what his parents are saying now, what are they saying to the kid, right? So out they go. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. You're really building that character profile.
Yeah.
But one thing I do always tell my players, you may be surprised to hear this.
Yeah.
And everyone talks about hard work, right?
Yeah.
Hard work and IQ, right? You got hard work, you got IQ, and you got talent.
Yeah.
If you have hard work, you have IQ, and you have talent, you have a chance. It's the math equation's that simple. If you're talented, you love to work hard, and you're smart, you've got a chance. I'm not going to say you make it.
Yeah.
But you got a chance.
You got a chance.
Now, what do you think the chance is if you have hard work and talent and no IQ?
It's lower, obviously, but not much lower.
You have a chance.
Yeah, you still have a chance.
Yep.
But then...
Now, what if all of a sudden I said you have talent, no hard work, and no IQ?
Goes down a lot. Or you
have a chance.
Okay, yeah, the only thing
What's
is...
the denominator for that? It's talent.
Exactly.
Talent is talent.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to take a chance. As much as you hate it, you'll go from a first-round pick to a 10th round if you're a knucklehead.
Yeah.
But if you're talented, every coach thinks he's the one who's going to change you.
Yeah.
He's going to take you under his wing, and you're going to become a prominent member of society and smart and a great kid, and you're going to blossom because everyone else just didn't know how to coach you. But frick, is he good, so I got to try him.
Yeah.
They'll always do it. The unfortunate thing is that, you know, when you tell someone, you know, if you got hard work and you got an IQ, you got a chance. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but it's probably the 4th on the list.
Yeah.
Like, talent is talent. But the problem is there's so much talent.
Yeah.
There's just that much. So, you know, when a player, you know, if a player's hearing this and says, what can I do?
Yeah.
You need to be on at all times. What you do on the bench. Like, if you got talent, check. Right? Work on your talent, go to your skills, develop it. That's not easy, but You know, the formula is there. We all know what the formula is. You know, go running, go jogging, get a good conditioning coach. You know, stick handle outside, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But when you get off the ice, if you had a bad shift, what do you do about it? If you bang your stick and go to the end, that's not good. You're not controlling your future then. That's not going to look good. Someone's going to see it. You know, you bang your stick on the ice when you get a penalty. That's not going to go well. They're going to see that, right? You got to keep that emotion in check. The big question, you know, especially for guys your brother's age going into bantam, there's a lot of guys talented like him that if they shoot from the position they're in, they could probably score.
Yeah.
They could probably take it end to end. But if the right play is to make a pass and they don't make that pass, they'll get docked. Even if they score.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, you didn't pass to that defenseman because it's a terrible defenseman. I get it. He's not very good. He'll probably cough the puck up. But in the dub, that defenseman is good.
Yeah.
So I want to see that you drop the puck to him. I don't care if that defenseman blows it. You didn't screw up. You made the right play.
Yeah.
Because when you come to my camp, that defenseman is going to be a stud.
Yeah.
And he's going to make that shot.
And he's going to make a difference.
Yeah. So making that play for a player, making the right play, even if it doesn't result in team success, is super important to your success in getting scouted.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Make the right play 100 times. And the other thing is just chill out on your stats. I know I said if you score, you're going to go.
Yeah.
But nobody ever got picked off a website statistic.
Exactly.
Now, there's a very big difference between scoring 3 goals in a game where someone's there watching it and chiseling away that third assist onto the website or worrying about that crap.
Yeah.
The website will not bring a scout there because the scout will come see you. They will see every team at AAA. They will see every prep team. You will get looked at. You will not be missed. The question is when they look at you, do you stand out? Are you doing what you came to do? And are you highlighting your strengths and hiding your weaknesses? And by hiding your weaknesses, I mean leaning on your teammates.
Yeah.
You know, can you put up your hand and tell a scout, I'm a third line checker. That's what I do, and I'm going to show you it. I'm a killer. I kill penalties. I block shots. Pick me on your team. I do it better than anyone else. Right? You know, are you a puck-moving defenseman? Is your job to make that entry level, that zone exit pass better than anybody else? That is what I do. I leave the zone faster than anyone because I make the best pass. You know, am I stay-at-home defenseman? You know, they're starting to weed out. People are less attracted to them now in scouting.
Yeah.
But if that's your strength, you still got to go with it. You're not going to manufacture yourself into an offensive dynamo.
Yeah.
So you got to show your best, hide your weaknesses by leaning on your teammates, by making the play to them so you don't have to make that play.
Yeah.
Right? And then start developing your weaknesses. You got to know them. You know, go home and develop them in the gym. You know, try it in practice. That's when the time it is to work on your weakness.
Yeah.
But when you're in that game, you got to make that right play for you, for the team, for it all. And then it'll go. And then outside of that, you can't worry about it. Kids worry. Your brother's going to worry. Everyone's going to worry. They're going to tell you they don't, and they worry.
Yeah.
There's 22 track jackets up there looking at you for the dub, and, you know, there's 50 of them in junior A, and there's really none in college, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to ask what college is different, they're not going to miss anybody. You know, the question is what do you do night in, night out when you're on that ice? And, you know, how are you raised? What do your parents say? Like, that's all going to play into it.
Yeah.
So, you know, for parents, simple, shut up.
Yeah.
Cheer. And give your kid the best chance to be selected. And you get that by being quiet, humble, and being a fan. And just being in love with the game and your kid and in the stands. And that's all you got to worry about.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you can do to give your kid a shot. And for a player, you just got to do whatever you can do and then hope someone finds you. You don't need 22 people to like you. You need one.
Yeah.
One guy to fall in love with you. And the kid Pasternak we talked about, I don't think he thought he was going to get drafted. He knew he was talented enough to. He knew he deserved it, and he did. There's no question.
Yeah.
But he's small. You know, was he going to get overlooked? And he was prepared for it. He was prepared that he'd get overlooked. You know, Blake Jones this year on the team.
Yeah.
He's prepared to be overlooked, and he won't be. I promise you right now, that kid won't be overlooked. And Pasternak wasn't either. I got a quick phone call from, you know, a scout over at Red Deer. He says, "What do you think about Pasternak? Middle of the draft." "I think if you don't take him, you're missing a captain."
Yeah.
"What?" "I think you're nuts." I said, "You got a value right now." I said, "You could probably pick him up in the 10th round, to be honest. I think he'll get overlooked. But what round are you on?" He goes, "I'm on round 3. I said, "Take him now. He deserves it now. This is the time to take him." And then he goes, "Well, what makes you say that?" I said, because Portland called me just before you.
Yeah.
Portland called you? Yeah. Yeah. What'd they say? They asked about him. And that's all I'm going to tell you. You make your pick. You know, you want him, you take him. But I don't know how far he'll fall. They didn't take him. And Portland took him next round.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he's going to the dub. He signed. He's going to play. He'll make it. He'll do good.
Yeah.
You know, in spite of that. You know, maybe another 19 guys really liked him. They just liked him in round 7. But Portland liked him enough in 4 to pull the trigger.
Yeah. And exactly. They knew he was their guy
for sure. Time. Yeah, that was the guy they wanted to pick because he's dynamic. He's just a dynamic player. And I think they got a steal in the 4th round for him. You know, people overlooked his size. And that'll happen to Jones.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a steal. Whoever takes him, he's going to walk into camp and he's going to blow their mind. He's absolutely going to blow their mind. And
he's just so smart.
Yeah.
Everything.
He reminds me a lot of a Niedermeyer.
Yeah.
He's like silk. When he skates, I've never seen a kid skate and no snow come up. But because he's just gliding on top of the ice.
Yeah.
Like his edge work is so good and his brain is so good for this game and his skill is so good for the game. Mm-hmm. People will shit on him for his size his whole career, but he'll make every level he tries out for.
Yeah.
Until he doesn't want to make it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's on him. This is his call, right? Mm-hmm. If he wants to make it, he's going to make it. You know, but he has to choose.
Exactly.
I know he's chosen. I know he wants to go, but
yeah.
You know, if he wants to play in the dub, he can play in the dub. If he wants to play college, he can play college. It doesn't matter. He'll have a choice, and no choice is wrong. He's just got to do what he thinks is best for his game. But you know, a guy like that, I would caution against closing any options.
Yeah.
Don't pigeonhole yourself because no one will pigeonhole you. He's good.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, scouting. I mean, that's where I'd like to wrap it up. You know, a couple good guys there, and we'll see where your brother and his band of minions.
Yeah.
Goes this year.
That's exciting. You know, we're less than 10 months away.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an exciting time for all of them. They just finished the dub combine, which I know isn't always. I don't know, like it's not always looked at, but every scout looks at your times in the combine.
They do.
The scouts do, right? But it
doesn't. It really just indicates they're looking for freaks.
Yeah.
When you look at that, when I mean a freak, I mean in a good way. Like they have the stats over how high a kid should jump at 13.
Yeah.
They know how fast a kid should be on a 40. They know how fast a kid should be with a puck and without a puck. They're looking for outliers of names they didn't see. So if all of a sudden you look and this kid's in the 99th percentile, why? Who are you? How did you just do this? Mm-hmm. And then they'll start digging, right? Maybe it's a name that hasn't hit their list before.
Yeah.
You know, but they got some athletic prowess. It's very different from the NFL though. You know, the combines are the testing. I don't know if I'm sold on it. I've been around a lot of it.
Yeah.
But hockey's still old school and done with the eye.
Yeah.
You know, it's still not as analytical as people make it out to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they talk about defensive Corsi and time on the ice and, you know, plus minus when you're not on the ice and 5-on-5 versus this. But at the end of the day, you can look at a player in a situation and realize they're effective.
Yeah.
And they're effective in a room and you're going to take them. Stats can help, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's not like football. It's not like baseball.
No, not at all.
Baseball stats mean everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can moneyball hockey.
No,
I'll never say
probably
never.
not. Yeah, I'll never say never, but
like, what's your opinion on Dubas and Chikra? I mean, they're in because they were Moneyball guys. They're analytics kids. They're 26.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It seems to be working. Chika's rebuild it just keeps coming along.
Yeah.
I mean, Dubas needs to learn how to manage his money a little bit better, with some of his contracts. But
like, does he?
I don't know. It's
I
like
don't know either yet.
A lot of the stuff was from when Lamorello was still there too. So he kind of came in a crappy situation with some of the contracts.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really anticipated Marner to have that good of a season like that he had.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew that he was going to be great.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden now he looks at the money that Tavares and Matthews got and he's like, why shouldn't I be getting paid that?
Of course.
Right?
You know, I don't know. My thoughts on the Dubas Chikra stuff though is like, there's a big part of me that wants the old guard in hockey just gone because it's a very incestuous sport. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh my God, you played in the NHL. You must be a great coach. Wrong.
Yeah. Gretzky is a prime example of that.
Oh God,
nobody liked him,
right? Like it's totally different. right? Coaching is a psychology now, but GMing is too. And how did Steve Yzerman sign Steven Stamkos for 8.5?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because he's Steve freaking Yzerman, and not only is he good at talking to people, you can hear it in his voice, but he's able to talk, from a true point of fact of how many cups he's won, how you're going to do it, how Stamkos is going to fit onto the team, why money needs to be at where it is, and let the man make a decision as a man. Can 26-year-old Kyle Dubas really communicate in the same way to a 21-year-old Mitch Marner than a Steven Yzerman can?
Yeah.
No, it's different.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, great. You're doing Moneyball. Marner can get money wherever he wants.
Yeah. Well, and teams are going to end up offer sheeting him for sure.
For sure. So people beat up Dubas sometimes on his money, like what he paid some guys, but maybe he had to pay it.
Yeah.
Maybe he knew, like maybe he knows the Marner thing's not going to happen. It will happen. Maybe it's an overpay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nylander was the right call to re-sign it. I couldn't tell you yet. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
it's also only been 60 games, right?
I hate Peter Chiarelli and I hated the Leon Draisaitl contract. That's a great deal now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's paying off.
Yeah, exactly.
Chiarelli still sucks, but
yeah, he still does. I mean, the Lucic contract wasn't great, but
so I mean, the whole point of it is you never know, right? It's the same with scouting. It's the same with these kids. You never know. They're only 14. And the thing they all got to remember, especially if a couple listen to this, is that 50% of the players that make a dub team make it from the draft. 25% make it getting listed after the draft between 14 and 16.
Yeah.
They'll just show up and say you're on a list.
Yeah.
Oh, we like you. We're protecting you. Done deal. You're the property of whoever now. And then 25% make it as a walk-on.
Yeah.
That goes to show how much they miss.
Exactly.
And when it comes to the NHL, they don't miss. Like, when it comes to pro sports, the best play. They don't miss anybody. They found Dustin Penner in a farm field.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They will not miss you. They will find you wherever you are. But when it comes to the Western or any of the other leagues or the smaller leagues, yeah, they'll make mistakes. For sure. They have to. There's too many players. They'll swing and a miss. So if you don't get signed, show up to camp and battle. If you want it, just battle.
Yeah.
Find your spot, right? You got to find a way to get through, and you can do it. And be smart about your stuff, and it's good. If you ever want one, I mean, we can even get together and talk scouting and where a player goes.
Well,
and
it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
If you're a nerd.
Well, another thing is, I feel like high school hockey is always not underappreciated. I don't think that's the right word.
Yeah.
But I think a good thing for Ryland is if he went and played with kids that are grade 12.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that he's playing with older guys. But then also it's good for him to play his own age because then he could produce a little bit more maybe. But then, in my opinion, like high school hockey Division 1 is better when you're in grade 9 than playing Bantam 1.
Yeah.
Like hockey-wise.
Sure.
If you're a grade 9, but then all of a sudden as you get older, then maybe AAA gets a little bit more superior.
Yeah.
But there's just not the scouts at high school hockey.
No, and I mean there is some reasons for that. Really, the reason is they've seen it already, and they haven't seen high school. But by the time you're grade 10, 11, and 12 in the high school system, they've already scouted you at 13, 14, 15. Yeah, and they're moving to the new crop of 13, 14, 15-year-olds. And the few kids that miss, they tell them, hey, if you want to stick, play provincial.
Yeah, exactly.
They do. So the one or two kids hoping to do it, they will stick provincial, and that's fine. There is talent at high school, but I think what they're banking on at that point, if that kid's got talent, he'll walk on. They'll find him.
Yeah.
So there's only so many places a scout can go. And the trouble with high school is how many teams you got? 40?
Us?
Not in your division, but all high school.
Out of all high school, there's 40 to 50 probably, I would say.
So a kid doesn't actually get a choice to play Division 1 or Division 2. It's his school. It's his catchment area.
Exactly.
Right? You could move schools, but let's say you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know if a scout's going to spend his time going to see 40 teams.
Exactly.
You could have a great player in a C division of high school.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, but they only have so much time, right? So they're going to go to wherever the hotbed is, and for now it seems to be a battle between prep and AAA, and there's some guys that'll go through for high school for sure, and it's very different being a grade 9. But for Ryland's age next year, I don't know what would be better, to be honest. If he had a chance to play with 18-year-olds, it would be better hockey. You're right.
Yeah.
But
it'd also be tougher for him. He might get beat up a little bit.
Maybe not. I don't know how he'll show, right? Like it's a question we'll never solve. Mm-hmm. That's why the players just got to do what's best for the player and have no regrets. Just play.
Yeah.
They'll find you if they don't. Just the Churchill program this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad experiment.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be the first one to an outlaw league. You don't. You just don't want to be the trailblazer. Not when your draft status is up to there.
Yeah. Well, Aiden Hyrer was one of them, wasn't he?
Yep.
That went and played. And
There was 4 or 5 kids that went over there that easily would have been drafted. I truly believe had they not left.
Yeah.
It was a weird anomaly of a thing, and they got buried. And it's unfortunate because they're kids. And why they got buried, I don't know. Maybe they got sold by someone in the program. Maybe they got sold by parents. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it was the wrong call.
Yeah.
The worst part is they knew it was the wrong call, but people are going to do what they do.
Yeah.
You can't stress about it. So, those kids that didn't make it now, their goal is to work their tails off and make it as a signed and a list player or walk on.
Yeah.
But again, they still have a 50-50 shot to make it. They're
Exactly.
only 15.
Yeah.
Like, young.
They've still got many years. Like,
they missed the draft. Big deal. Now battle. All right, you're not God's gift to the draft. Moving on.
Yeah.
Now find alternative route 2.
Yeah.
Plan like a GPS. So I hope they make it. I hope I hope Aiden and anyone else from there finds their way and gets there and lives their dream if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So cool.
One last thing that I heard, that was a rumor, is
all the rumor mills.
Yeah, the rumor mills. It's probably not true. I heard that Jordan voted Lucas Hansen for like every award for the Warriors. Is that true?
Well, first off, it sounds like that's what Jordan would do.
Yeah.
And if you talk to Jordan and he was here, the first thing he'd tell you is like, I'd vote him for president.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jordan's also an ass.
Yeah.
He's the best kind. No, we only get one vote as a coaching staff.
Okay.
And we can only vote for. So what happens, in the final rankings is every coach nominates a player in every category. So we as a staff got together and nominated a player in each. And I have a very hard opinion. Like, it's hard line for me. A forward and a defenseman that are nominated for top D and top forward will not be nominated for MVP and vice versa. I'll always give 3 awards. I won't load up one kid with multiple. Even if they deserve it, I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any real difference, between, the categories as much as people think.
Yeah.
But, we went with who we went with, and we liked who we put up, and we think they're legit. I'll take that to the bank all day.
Yeah.
But no, we actually could only vote for MVP. That's all we could vote for.
Yeah.
Right? Because Lucas was only nominated for MVP, I believe. I don't think he was for forward.
Yeah, I think
Tyler kept him off.
Yeah, I think his coaches may have given it to Perron, maybe.
I think so.
Forward.
Yeah, I think they separated it that way.
Yeah.
Him and Perron, and that's fine. I would do that too if I was Tyler.
Yeah, they're great.
But no, we couldn't vote for him for every award. You can't write in.
Yeah.
You can't do any of that. It just
it
is what it is. There's 4 people voting on 5 guys standing there, and it turns out the way it turns out. I mean, did he win it?
Lucas?
Yeah, I can't remember. Did he win
won
it, or
MVP.
did the goalie win it? No, he won it. Eh?
Yeah, he won it.
Yeah. Good vote.
Yeah.
I think I did vote for him.
He's a good player.
He is. He's good. He's impactful.
Yeah.
There's no question, that one game, man, he put his team on his back when we were up. What were we up, 6-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put on, 3?
Yeah,
I lost 7-6.
Yeah, tough loss, but...
Yeah, thanks, Lucas.
Yeah.
You're listening to this. Good player. Bugger, though.
Yeah,
Bugger.
He's kind of like roulette. He just always seems to get that goal when his team needs it.
Different player.
Yeah, completely different player.
Totally different, because when you're talking about a kid that finishes... Lucas is good, but I won't anoint him to a level. When he gets 110 points in the Bantam 1 season...
Yeah.
Then we can talk. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm all in, because work ethic is there. He's one of the best at his age. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. There's not much to hate.
Yeah.
Will he maintain it? It's up to him. A lot of guys are going to catch him.
Yeah.
I mean, how tall are you now? 6 what?
I'm like just short of 6 feet, like a hair under.
Like Ryland's going to finish at 6'1", and he's going to lean out, and he's going to be thick, and he's still short this year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't stretched yet, so he's going to stretch later. There's a lot of talented players at this age group.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to bust through, to be honest. I would make some bets, but the 03s, I was pretty confident in my picks, and I've been right.
Yeah.
The 04s, I was correct.
Well, the problems with the kids being this young is they're still in different stages of puberty.
Yeah.
Right. So
They're children.
yeah.
It's very hard to pick a child to go play a man's game. I mean, you're asking a kid to be picked at 13, 14 years old to go play against an 18 to 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And perform, but that's where people don't see it is at the end of the day, 2 16-year-olds on average make every WHL team.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get drafted into the NHL, the odds, not truth, you probably have to play at 16.
Yeah.
Then you got to play at 17. And then if your birthday's at the right time, you can play at 18 before you're drafted.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it's the wrong time, you're getting drafted. But if you're not playing in the dub at 16, minimum 17, your shot is gone just because you can't be drafted.
Yeah.
And if you are playing at 16, I mean, that's 22 16-year-olds, because 22 teams, so that's 44 players
Yeah.
that are going through. And then you include the Q and the O, and you're probably looking at about 90 players right there who all made it at 16. And we haven't touched the USHL, the college system,
Exactly.
overseas, and you're only taking 250 players in a draft.
Yeah.
It's done, right? Like,
That's
you're
crazy.
over. So awesome you're there as a 16-year-old in the dub, but just because you make it at 16, now you got to score.
Yeah.
Now you got to win. Like, look at the draft year going this year. The number 1 ranked player in the Western League is Seth Jarvis from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Freak of a player. Awesome kid. Great player.
Yeah.
He's ranked 11 on Button's list because Alexander Lafreniere,
Yeah.
I mean, Seth had 11 points when the list came out.
Yeah.
Through something like 25 games. Lafreniere had 55.
Yeah. He's a freak.
That's the difference. That's a gap. I mean, from 1 to 11. And I'm not saying Seth won't be better than Lafreniere because he's still a kid too.
Yeah.
He's still going to grow and he's got elite speed and he's tough as friggin' nails. But like when you're dealing with the fact that there's kids in these drafts at 16 years old putting up 95 points in the Q,
Yeah.
that's a good player.
That's a very good player.
Like, that's elite, and it's coming. Aaron Ekblad, same thing. Like, there's freaks. There's just good players.
And now there's that one kid, Shane Wright, who got exceptional player status in the O.
Yeah.
Right? So now he's all of a sudden, he's a year before everybody.
And he's getting ready.
Yeah, so now he can have... I'm not saying that he's going to have a crap season, but he can get that first year of crap out of the way.
Yeah.
And then when he's 16, he's going to be that much more prepared than all the other 16s that come in.
He will be, because getting on the bus for 72 games, getting punched in the face for the first time, because someone will fight you.
Yeah.
You may not get into one, but even in the dressing room, someone's going to tune you up. Nobody thinks about this, but no 19-year-old player is cheering on a 15-year-old to make his team.
Yeah.
Because what happens then is that you took away a spot from that 19-year-old's friend.
Exactly.
Him or his friend were cut to make room for this kid. They don't want that.
Yeah.
They want their buddy. Pay your dues, kid. Get up. So he's going to go through all that, which is good. Figure it out. And by the time he's 16 and everyone's coming up, he's already a vet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not eating crap in the room. He's got friends. He's comfortable with the town. He understands the bus. He gets how to study.
Yeah.
He's not afraid when a guy with a beard, and that happens. Big guy with a beard comes in and yells at him, "I'll kick your, whatever, kid." And he just laughs. And the other 16-year-old is like, the old Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a plan to get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to punch you.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And what are you going to do? And maybe it'll be they hit
That's
you
how you
or
respond.
whatever. Yeah. Are you in or are you out? And if you're out quick. And the coach will see it, and that's it. You get one shot. And I don't know how you prepare a 16-year-old for that.
Yeah.
No mom, no dad, no school, no teacher, no protection, no nothing. Just a very big, mean 19-year-old kid taking that puck from you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Are you in or are you out? Are you going to play your game or are you going to play scared?
Exactly.
See what Wright does.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I hope he does good. I always cheer for that. I love seeing generational players.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time we've had. We've got so many.
Yeah.
The NHL's loaded.
Yeah. Well, and it's like everybody uses the generational tag, and it's like people are like, "Oh, there's only one generational player per generation," and I'm like, "What are you
Not this
talking about?"
generation.
McDavid,
Yeah.
generational.
For sure.
Matthews, you could argue in
agree
between
with that.
franchise generational,
I would agree.
right? And even like Dahlin, generational defenseman.
Dahlin's like my
Yeah.
favorite player on the planet.
Yeah.
And then somebody tell me Mitch Marner's not at 95 points.
Yeah.
He's a friggin' kid. He's a winger.
Yeah.
He may be better than Patrick Kane, and Patrick Kane's the best winger to ever play the game.
Yeah.
That's not generational?
Exactly.
Ah,
Well, look, Patrick Kane, Alex Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby.
yeah.
They're all drafted within like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
They're all generational players, and people are like, the only generational player playing in the NHL right now is Sidney Crosby.
Why?
And I'm like, why wouldn't you throw it out there more often?
He's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a media hype tag.
Yeah.
I mean, but even in the days when Gretzky was playing, there was still Yzerman. When
Yeah.
Gretzky was there,
Lemieux.
Chalios was still
Yeah.
there, Lemieux was there, Messier was there, Curry was there.
Robitaille, even though he wasn't maybe as high as those guys, he's still there.
For
he's
sure.
a great guy.
There's always going to be good players, but the whole key is for these kids who are getting scouted. When you finally get into the league where you take your shot, and you're either taking your shot in the dub or you're delaying your shot to go to college, to take your shot there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take your shot as a 21-year-old instead of a 16-year-old. But you get one shot. If you burn out at 16 in the dub, the odds of transitioning to the NHL later are low.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of guys like Tanev will take the slow route, go and wait till they develop, go to college, take their shot at 21.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's no right or wrong answer. But when your shot comes, you got to take it, and you're either getting it or you're not.
Yeah.
And you got to be the best. Like it sounds so cliche, but if you're just a mid-pack guy, I mean, the dub is designed. People don't get this. On the outside, the dub is not designed for 20-year-olds. It's not designed for 19-year-olds. It's barely designed for 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
It is designed to groom and prep the top 16-year-olds to play against the best competition they can at the time so they can get drafted. That's what it's built for.
Exactly.
That's it. It's built for those two 16-year-olds to make that team and play against competition to get them ready for the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an 18-year-old walking onto the dub, you're going to have a fun career. It's going to be great. I'd say go for it. And maybe you do make the show, but you're really there to feed that 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? That's
yeah, but then you could be the guy that's like, hey, I helped this guy get some goals, or I helped this guy get some apples. I helped him groom into a player.
Yeah. Well, why did Lafreniere make Team Canada?
Yeah.
He didn't. He shouldn't have last time.
No.
He shouldn't have. He wasn't good enough. But they're grooming him.
Yeah.
And so it's just one spot on the World Junior roster. Big deal. They're grooming him to be the guy.
Well,
and he needed it. He needed the spot.
The one game, he got like two minutes.
Yeah. And that's all they got him.
He's still there for the ride.
Yep. I mean, did he deserve it? Of course he does. He's good, but there's 100 other kids that would have taken him before him.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And he'll play this year, and he'll be hopefully more impactful.
Yeah.
But if he's not, people got to realize he's 17. Like the World Juniors is run by 19-year-olds.
Exactly.
You win with 19-year-olds. But name me how many of those 19-year-olds make it.
Exactly. It's only the guys that are the top picks that went back to junior.
Yeah.
That'll end up.
I mean, how many Mark Scheifele's get drafted in the first round and play in the OHL till they're 20? Not many.
Yeah, and
he was rare.
And that's a top 10 pick too.
Yeah, he was rare. I mean, like they said, Kyle Connor was gonna take a couple years.
Yeah.
Connor basically just showed up and made it.
Yeah.
He played a year in the A, but he didn't take nearly as long as people thought.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah.
And anyways, there's been a lot of great things that were said here, and I was happy to have you on, and hopefully we'll have you back on in the future and talk a little bit more about some other things.
Oh, thanks.
And it was great.
Okay, good stuff, man.
All right. Thanks for listening to the CNO podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.